Hello viewers, very warm good morning from the OIC Conference Center here in Banjul, day 2 of the two-day Heads of State Summit of the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation OIC, which started yesterday. And we are back this morning to bring you, second day proceedings of the summit here at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center here in the Gambia. Like I said, it's approaching 10 a.m. here in Banjul, and as usual, I'm joined on the program by my colleagues, Mr. Modumboch and Ansumana Isonyasi. Gentlemen, good to have you back again on the program.
Yeah, good morning, Aliu. Good morning to our viewers. We're very much pleased to be back here again to, bring you live updates of proceedings here. And, we will be with you as usual until, whatever time this ends today as well. Mr. Bush.
Absolutely. We've come to the final day, isn't it?
Yeah.
After having all this flurry of activity, suddenly it's going to end today and everybody's going to go home.
Yeah.
So, yes, we're looking forward to, what I'm particularly looking forward to is that what the Banjul Declaration, what will it contain, for instance, something like that. So that's it, all the fun, all the excitement is just about to end. And I hope on a high note.
Sure.
Well, there you heard Ansumana Isonyasi and Modumboch, talking about, ending on a high note. Like they said, today is the final day of the summit, and then we're looking forward to the Banjul Declaration. There will be a communique at the end of the day, and of course a press conference by the chairman of the OIC, President Barrow. But just to give you a recap of what happened yesterday, we witnessed the opening ceremony here at the conference center, where the baton was handed to President Barrow as the chairman of the OIC for the next 3 years from Saudi Arabia. But equally, we saw during the opening ceremony there were statements, from the, of course, the outgoing chair, which is Saudi Arabia, and of course, as well, we heard from the Secretary General of the OIC, Taha, and President Barrow himself, being the current chair of the OIC, also delivered statement, and all their statements were anchored on the need for promote unity and peace within the Muslim Ummah, the issue of Palestine and other countries, Azerbaijan, Kosovo, other conflicts in Somalia and Sudan, were all issues that were highlighted in their different statements, and the need for the Ummah to come together and work together to ensure they are able to achieve sustainable peace and stability in those countries. Gentlemen, I will bring you just Ansumana and Mr. Mbodj. Before I bring you in, just to remind our viewers that yéen nga amee nag si QTV di leen dalalaat ne dellusiwaat nañ fii pour indi leen li nga xam ne moo nekk OIC Summit bi tey nag te tey mooy last day bi comme noonu leen ko nekkee toppee QTV si fan yëpp ñu ngi fii di leen indi lépp loo xam ne moo fi xew depuis commencement bi ci senior government officials meeting bi ñëw ba si Council of Foreign Ministers meeting bi ko ñëw démba nga xam ne gis ngeen opening ceremony bu am fii nii ki nga moo nekk Sadauda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center. ñu gis ne jox nañ President Barrow batin bi li nga xam ne loolu mooy wane léegi moom mooy nekk chair of the OIC. waaye tam si opening bi gis nañ ñu bëri teew nañ ay politicians, religious leaders, gis nañ even Christian community bi tam ñëw nañ, gis nañ fi former vice presidents ku mel ni Farmata Jallow Tamba Jang, ku mel ni Aïssatou Ndiaye Seydi, ku mel ni Dr Aïssatou Touré, ku mel ni Ba Ousainou Darboe, leader of United Democratic Party, waaye nekkoon na vice president tam, nekkoon na foreign affairs minister. ñoom yëpp ñëw nañ teew, ku mel ni ñoom Mama Kandeh GDC, ñu bëri teew nañ dem ba politicians yi yëpp a ñëw pour fekkee li nga moo nekk ubbite OIC conference bi te mu nekkoon bés bu am solo, bés bu taar dem ba képp ko xam ne yaa ngi seetaan QTV gis nga événement bi naka la xewee fii nga ne moo nekk Sadauda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center. tey nag mooy nekk last day bi, ñu ngi sentu lan moo war a nekk the outcome of the summit. xam naa ne dinañ issue a communiqué, dinañ am li nga ne moo nekk di Banjul Declaration, waaye after loolu président Barrow dina jàkkaarloo ak taskati xibaar yi pour am li nga ne moo nekk press conference. bari ngol mel be QTV jibe kan ngal bismillah ko tenke afrenti motanam pour ka the OIC summit coverage natal ye comme nga fayle ñaami bilam ti labangoti summit ñing kono comme kunung aliaji ñamen kunune summit fo ngi yelata somanda jang Sadauda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center ngaji President Barrow yatale ka san chairman of the OIC bari je fana ngamoy ngaji mo jemal nata pour ka pour que mabe jing yele rola nga senior government official jang nga politician ol jang ko nga fale nyamen ba Ousainou Dabo ata fana be jam ya atlemo leader of the UDP ba na nekk vice president and foreign affairs minister Farmata Jallow Tamba jang former vice president ata fana be jang Dr. Aissatou Touré former vice president Dr. Aissatou Ndiaye Sedi me ko atele ketanu vice president under former president Yaya Jammeh will be nata pour que mabe jang Mama Kandeh GDC will be nata pour que mabe yele ro me nyana ko wala kera kunung jang sa dawra Kairaba Jawara conference center comme nga fane bilam final date and bilam be communiquer issue la ka fo moli d'accord ta munela and then daw ibe fanan they will go with what they will call Banjul declaration for fanan be bilam ba lonna andong ñewo bara ye fanan press conference la me anoko avec la chairman of the OIC President Barrow aning kibar talalu fanan be kala bi inshallah musidam ngon me dara QTV mi mon bismillah mi garti kadi pour andana ngana ko woni OIC coverage o sa dawra Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center comme no ngono ndar QTV de balle fo mo don do pour adande mo ngana ko woni hewde do sa dawra Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center hanki non on yi o wonno udet go ngana ko woni o summit o on ji yimbe heewe arno nge pour be tawe he nganda ko dum woni udide OIC ko wayno nino politicians e jido ko President Barrow himodo President Sierra Leone President Djibouti President Mauritania President Senegal Bassirou Diomaye Diakhar Faye yimbe heewe ari he prime minister he vice president heewe ngari pour tawe nganda ko dum woni udide OIC summit do Banjul te kadi en jikade politician kambe kadi be ngari en jiido mbadino ba Ousainou Dabo ngada kanko woni leader United Democratic Party te o meedi wonde kande vice president of foreign affairs minister en jiido Farmata Jallow Tamba jang former vice president Dr. Aissatou Touré former vice president Aissatou Ndiaye Sedi former vice president en jiido kadi Mama Kandeh en fof leader of the GDC so yimbe hewbe ari hanki pour be tawe nganda ko odide OIC summit so rewno hande woni final day o pour summit o te kadi mon dañi yakar hande min gandar ko hundu woni final outcome nganda ko woni o summit nganda ko o Banjul. So like I said, gentlemen, I mean, we're looking forward to an interesting day ahead as the final day of the summit. I mean, like Mr. Mboj, like they said, we hope it ends on a high note because we are looking forward to the Banjul declaration and, of course, I mean, the communique and the press conference as well. But overall, I mean, you heard from the various speakers yesterday, from the Secretary General Taha to the new chairman, President Barrow. I mean, what did you make of their statements yesterday, Mr. Mboj, especially that of the president? I mean, you had them spoke about so many issues regarding how to address the conflicts within the Muslim Ummah, even the issue of member states for the committing themselves to paying their dues and all those things. So, your take, Mr. Mboj.
Yes, I think that it might be better to start with the Secretary General, really, because that is really the report of what's going on, what they've been up to, and what they hope to achieve in the future. I picked out certain key elements in his speech. Of course, he thanked the Gambia in many ways for what he called the avant-gardist role we played in the Rohingya case. There we all know what's been going on there. Some people have described how the Myanmar government's been treating the minority Rohingya Muslim group, and so some people have even called it genocide. That was why we took it to the International Court of Justice, thanked us for that, and that was a good thing. And he also gave us some of the positive stuff that's been happening. For instance, the UN declared, is it 15th of March, as Anti-Islamophobia Day. That's a fantastic achievement. And he talked about the environment, youth, cultural diversity, and they've created a special department for that. For me, I was just looking out for the actions, what they had been doing. And the issues that they've been trying to address. And he mentioned something else. How do they create the kind of mechanism that would make sort of multilateral cooperation sort of work? These are all very, very important things. And then, from 2005, they've been having 10-year programs. 2005, 15, then they had from 2016 to 2025. That one is going to end. Yesterday he mentioned something about the OIC 2036. Yeah. You see, this is what they've got. So, and the payment of subventions, they talked about that. So yes, gave us a report, some of the achievements and some of the challenges they face, which is important to know, and then how would this summit address that? What resolutions would the summit come up with, and then what actions would follow? Then when the president came, I'm sure we'll go to the president, perhaps we'll deal with one at a time. And when the president came, he said we were committed really to doing what really we're supposed to do, what the solutions we're going to agree on.
So it was more like he was trying to take stock of how far the organization has come in terms of the achievements made, but equally the challenges, and trying to look at the way forward, what should be done, and so we are able to, remedy some of the, some of these challenges.
Absolutely. Just one more. In fact, he also added, I love this bit about the media observatory and legal observatory to make sure that, for instance, in Palestine, that's really the main topic on the OIC agenda, to observe what is going on. Is Israel really observing all these international laws, their legal obligations and the like? So yeah, so definitely some interesting positive
And if
steps.
you're just watching QTV, those are the delegates who are walking into the conference center here in Barrow for the final day of the 15th OIC Summit here in Banjul under the theme ensuring unity and solidarity through dialogue for sustainable development. So that's what is happening at the moment. Our delegates are walking in, and already the President of the Republic and the Chair of the OIC is also here. We understand he left here very early, very late yesterday night, and this morning he has to be here as early as at 10 o'clock just to ensure he's at hand to receive the delegates as they arrive. So that shows that it's a lot of work for him now.
Indeed, and he left very late last night. I think he was the last to leave. And which is quite normal. I mean, he's the host, and so he's expected. But I would love to focus a little more on what I think is also one of the main highlights of the Secretary General's address yesterday at the opening ceremony, and that is on the issue of Palestine, and of course, regarding a permanent ceasefire, and urging, UN member countries, but particularly OIC member states, to acknowledge formally Palestine's nationhood. And I think this, for me, has been a debate that has been going on and on and on, right from the very inception of the OIC organization.
And even
itself.
the issue of having Palestine as a full member of the UN.
So he's made the case.
Well, Ansumana, as you are seeing on the screens, the delegates are coming in now for the final day session of the summit here at the Sada the Kairaba Conference. And those are live images you are receiving here at the Kairaba Conference Center. Yeah.
So he's made a case for Palestine, as regards to nationhood, but most importantly, having a permanent ceasefire. I know there's been a lot of talk and negotiations as to, a ceasefire. We know there is a conflict ongoing. There's always been one, but it seems to have really gone to this level where now it has attracted so much global attention. And this followed the events of October 7th, and Israel's response as well to those events. And so he's saying, not only do we want a ceasefire now, we want a permanent ceasefire. And I think it gives you an idea of what we can expect of the communique, but also the Banjul Declaration, when it comes to the issue of Palestine, which, as always, has been one of the top agendas of the OIC. And I think it will be quite interesting.
Mr. Mboch, okay.
That's it. And not simply a ceasefire, which you need right now because of the emergency on the ground, but a peace conference. I think when the president came, he talked about that. There's a massive shift globally now for a peace conference, really, to establish two states. They've had this in the past. Always in the past, whenever you've had an escalation of violence, then that somehow triggered the peace process. Quite ironically, that's the issue. So with this violence now, it has triggered another push for a two-state solution. So that peace conference, so hopefully in the next 3 years or so, our president being the chairman, we will join the rest of the global voices, as it were, and really push for the conference on Palestine to create a two-state solution. President Netanyahu doesn't like that. You have a massive constituency in Israel that doesn't like that. So how do we be a massive global counterweight to that resistance so that it can happen, so that we'll get a two-state solution? So at least from this tragedy, something positive might emerge.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, we will later play the statement of the president. We'll take a listen again to what he said yesterday. I mean, but before then, I know Control Room will try to get that clip ready for us. But before then, I mean, you heard from Taha talking about the issue of having Palestine as a full member of the United Nations. Just a couple of weeks ago, we saw the UN Security Council vetoed that application, which we all know, if it gets to the General Assembly, certainly it will be passed because Palestine has a good support when it comes to the General Assembly. So where do we start now, Mr. Boyd, to have Palestine as a full member of the UN, knowing how powerful the UN Security Council is? It's like, it's even more powerful than the General Assembly sometimes.
That is
especially in this case, because once they vetoed it, then that's the end. It doesn't get to the General Assembly.
That is precisely the point. Before it gets to the General Assembly, you're going to have all the things happening, you know what I mean? All the diplomatic routes and channels and negotiations and agreements happening before the UN will accept. We all know that the General Assembly doesn't have power. The power is really with the five, the big five, you know, those with veto power. And we all know the geopolitics of the world. You know that EU, the West, US, Britain, France, they will be with Israel. When you look within the Security Council, I mean, it's quite extraordinary. Most times, you're going to have Britain, US, France on one side. You're going to have China, Russia on the other side. So you have that basic divide, that basic ideological battle, these two basic camps, and they're only following their interests. So this will be quite interesting. That is why it makes it extremely difficult. And now in the complex world that we are living in, a lot of people are crying, advocating for a reform of these institutions to really be able to respond well to the complexities of our world now and our ambitions. We want equality. You know, everybody is talking about that. The gap between the rich and the poor, it's massive, it's huge. So really, without this reform, we're going to be facing these political challenges in the General Assembly and the UN system, how it works. But better to have a conference, agree on things, then it's easier to pass in the UN. But the UN really cannot solve this one at all.
And talking about reforms, this was something which was highlighted in the chairman, that's the 14th chairman of Saudi Arabia, the need to reform, you know, certain things even within the OIC. But let's now get into the local before we bring in the president's statement. Demba gis nañ lo fi xew si opening bi, I mean, first and foremost, dama bëgg a xam rek yeen your views in terms of the attendance. What's your take?
Well, I'm the Minister of Information. When you're 57 countries, well, and the 56, we're here already. You send delegates and representatives and stuff. Even though perhaps presidents in Bugol, Mubari, Barrow, Growl, sing neighbors, sing Dekandori. And man, to me, source of joy, really. I'm president of Sierra Leone, Senegal, Mauritania, Guinea-Bissau. So absolutely, say, really fantastic. Yes. Affairs in the more deme onni hanga ñu ñoo bëgg xaar le statement ci lan la gaay di wax secretary general gi ki nga xamne mom mo de run day to day affairs of the OIC ci general secretariat gi jox ñu a report of lana nek di xew xam nga li seen agenda bi number one on the agenda fii moo nekk the issue of Palestine lan lañ nit pour am Palestine fu mu nekk nit ñu bare ngee dee more than 30,000 so moytu léegi tey mu egg 40,000
and that's just from 7th October to now.
just from 7th October ba léegi amangul at sax so lan lañ mun a def pour ñu mun a stop léegi xeex gi and not only that suñ stopee xeex gi ba pare ñaari dëkk yooyu Israel ak Palestine fu ñu jaar ñu am nations ñu am dëkk fu mu nekk Palestine nekkul dëkk dafa mel ni ki enclave in Israel in many ways ba pare ñu boo xam ne camp dañ create an open air prison ni koy gars yi de ooyee so naka lañ mën a create situation boo xam ne dinañ jox Palestinians si seen self respect maybe soo bëggee xeex gi stop joxal nit ki self respect then maybe dina stop yeena yi so Palestine boobu moo dee jël of course all the time with OIC boobu moo dee jël chunk of our time massive chunk of our time président bi sa speech am bi am na lu bari stretch bu bari yëpp Palestine la loolu mooy seen issue waaye nag OIC bi tamit dem na beyond loolu mu ngi ci lu nekk mu ngi jéem a ici employment economic development mu ngi jéem a ici di help dëkk yi pour climate change ñun ñëpp gis nañu fi day xew nawet su xewee flood lii day xew so lan lañ mën a def pour prepare dem na ba ci technology as well fu mu nekk àdduna si moom doo mën a def anything without technology so OIC bi tamit mu ngi doon respond to àdduna si naka laa demee pour mu mun a absorb the new challenges di expand nag its remit man naka laay waxee loolu in wolof pour xam nga pour mu really representative of the modern world so mu jox ñu report what's going on and all of that am nañ génn suñ def waaye nag am na yu bari tamit challenge yoo xam ne la ñu ngi ci kawam.
waaw Ansumana I mean coming back home I mean attendance bi démba ñi nga xam ne ñoo ñëw pour teew maa ngi ko doon wax bu balaa ñu bari ay borom namba tànka former vice presidency ñoom yëpp teewe nañ démba waa gis ne tam ay politicians head of political party leaders parties rather ana ko senior government of ñëpp a ñëw démba Ansumana soo xooloon loolu nga toog si xool di gis I mean people from diverse walks of life ñëpp ñëw nañ pour fekkee li nga xam ne moo nekk opening ceremony bi loo si jàngat yow.
li moo findal rek mooy ne Gambia mu xew la te foog naa soo xoolee environment bi fii démba you know da nga dee am that sense of unity waaye tamit yow Gambian bi dafa am lu dee yëg ndax nga war a dalal lu toll ci juróom fukk ak juróom benn réew sa biir dëkk du lu ndaw loolu nekkul bés bu nekk nga ko di am te xëy na léeg-léeg sax wan si sa biir duna nga am opportunité boobu so lu am solo la waaye dafa rafet tamit Aliou ñu xewle lu mel nii dalal fi àdduna ñun suñ biir tamit naam ne dañuy uute gis-gis si wàllum politique si wàllum diine nga déema sax gis naa fi suñ mbokki christian yi tamit yoo xamante ne ñooy seen ñooy kilifa yi
Bani Manga mu ngi fi woon
ñëpp ñu fi woon loolu li ma wane rek mooy li nga xamante ne OIC bi looloo ko tax a jóg bokk na ci mooy religious tolerance dañ ne kenn ku nekk war ngaa mun a am right bokk ci diine boobu ga léegi ñoom nag suñoo advocate pour loolu dafa war a feeñ ci suñ dundin ñu ni neen kon baax na ku nekk képp koo xam ne daal doomi réew mi nga yooyu nga gis si sa boppa moo tax foog naa local organisation committee bi dinaa leen comment si loolu ndax seppiwuñ ci kenn soo xoolee di ma xool bi di nga fa gis politicien di nga fa gis njiiti diine di nga fa gis njiiti aada waaye tamit di nga fa gis nit yoo xamante xëy na sax géej nga leen a gis ñu nekkoon si nguur nekkoon ay borom ndomb tànk te nekkatuñ fa suñ former vice président yi yëpp ñun loolu géej nañ koo gis Gambia géej nañ koo gis soo dafa rafet ñu xewle gan yi ñoo gis ne ñun de ñi ñu dalal sax ndeke ñoom juboo nañ ñëpp benn lañ parce que Gambia ku ñu xamee ñu jàmma ku ñu xamee ñu bennoo Gambien bi xamut fitna Gambien bi xamut coow bu bëri waaw léeg-léeg nag ñu utee ci gis-gis you know ŋàññante fii ak fële criticize which is very normal waaye nag am na fu ñu dee toll rek da ngaa gis ñëpp dañoo dellu gannaaw ne déet nañ fàttaliwaat suñu boppa ne ñun dafa am luñ miin dafa am lu ñu àdduna xàmmee te bokk na si lu ñu yóbbu OIC démb rek maa ngi ko wax fii Saa Dawda ku ko xamee ko ci advocate yi fi jàmm ak bennoo loolu bokk na si lu tax mu yóbbu ñu OIC pour gën a dëgëral suñ diggante der bu ñuul beeg arab bi gis nga kon tey su jamono doxee ba ñun ñu di war a dalal OIC foog mu feeñ ci suñ dundin si suñ jikko ak si suñ doxalin kon dafa rafet bi ma gis all of those political party leaders yi yëpp ak religious leaders yi even local government authorities yi tamit si mel ni maire yi ak ñooñu yëpp ma gis leen fi loolu dama si kontaan torop te foog naa lu rafet la te lii rek war nañoo mun a build on luñ jot a amagum ni ci OIC bi bennoo bi ñu continuer ak loolu bu jamono politique jotee ñu politique nag ba mu xumba du problème ku nekk dem fi nga far waaye su Gambia ootee wala Gambia xewle ñu tegee boor fa la ñu tubaab yi rawee tubaab yi dinañ ŋàññante dafa waxante lu nekk waaye su lu ñëw ci li nga xamante ne mooy njëriñ ñëpp mooy dëkk bi boobu dañoo put aside seen differences lu ñoo gis rek mooy njëriñ ñi dëkk bi kon dafa rafet trop te foog naa mooy li ma wax rek local organizing committee bi jar nañu comment leen ci loolu because démba maa ngi fàttaliku bu ñëw toog lu ñu jokkoon a mooy est-ce que gars yaa ngi fi waaye yàggul rek ñu gis leen kon loolu lu rafet la di wax ne rek nañ gën a góorgóorlu
Jërëjëf Ansumana Esonyasi and Mr. Mboj. Well, viewers, if you are watching, this is QTV, the Gambia's premier private TV station, and we are broadcasting from the OIC Conference Center here in Banjul, where the Gambia is hosting the OIC Summit, and today is the final day of the summit, which has been taking place for the past few days, from the senior government officials meeting to the Council of Foreign Affairs Ministers, and yesterday we saw the official opening of the summit itself, where we had presidents, vice presidents, prime ministers, and high-power delegations from across the 57 member countries of the OIC, who are all in the smiling coast of Africa, to join in the summit to discuss, issues affecting the Muslim Ummah, but with much emphasis on what is happening in Palestine. And just before we bring in the president's statement, just this morning we received a press release from the local organizing committee, and it's had to do with the aircraft parking at the Banjul International Airport. The press release actually reads update on aircraft parking at the Banjul International Airport. Banjul International Airport has adequately accommodated the arrivals of heads of state and high-level delegation for the 15th OIC Summit here in the Gambia. And of course, it is saying only 2 aircraft, according to the press release, related to the summit are parked in Dakar. One serving the Senegalese presidential fleet and the other belonging to the Cote d'Ivoire second in command, that's the vice president. It says, contrary to any assumptions, the decision to park the 2 aircraft in Dakar was a matter of choice rather than due to any perceived space constraint at the Banjul International Airport. It went further to say there are currently 16 aircraft at the Banjul International Airport. This underscores what it says, the airport's capability and capacity to manage the influx of dignitaries aircraft. It ended with saying the success of operations at the Banjul International Airport reaffirms its status as a modern, capable facility for international gatherings of this magnitude. Written by Lassana Tunkara, who is the chairperson of the media subcommittee of the OIC local organizing committee. So that's a press release from the OIC local organizing committee, just trying to update the public regarding the issue of aircraft parking at the Banjul International Airport. Like I said, delegates are still walking into the conference center here in Banjul for the final day of the OIC Summit here in Banjul under the theme Ensuring Unity and Solidarity for True Dialogue for Sustainable Development, being hosted here in the Gambia. And President Barrow was yesterday handed the baton of being chairman of the OIC for the next 3 years. Like I said, yesterday he delivered a statement which actually anchored on diverse issues as far as the OIC and the Muslim Ummah is concerned, and how the Gambia is for the matter of leadership in the next 3 years. But he also used his statement to actually, thank South Africa for the effort taken to seek justice, for the people of Palestine. And he promised a lot of reforms under his chairmanship, talking about the Gambia's commitment to what he calls, to ensure peace and solidarity among member states. Well, control room, if the clip is ready, we'll just take a listen to the president's statement yesterday at the opening of the summit here at the OIC Conference Center. Let's take a listen.
I thank you for that speech. Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Secretary General of the OIC, our distinguished guests of honor, honorable ministers, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I feel extremely honored and uniquely privileged to welcome all the illustrious leaders, eminent personalities, and distinguished delegates and guests in our midst to this 15th summit of the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation, OIC. I very warmly welcome you all with great pride and delight on behalf of the entire government and the people of the Republic of the Gambia, including my humble self as your host. Feel at home on the smiling coast of Africa and enjoy every moment of your stay with us. Your Majesty's Excellencies and distinguished guests, after several unavoidable postponements, we have eventually converged for this eagerly awaited auspicious Islamic Summit. For this achievement, I express most profound appreciation and gratitude to His Majesty King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, custodian of the two holy mosques and chair of the 14th OIC Summit, and Crown Prince and Prime Minister, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, for the laudable work done during the Kingdom's tenure as chair of the OIC over the past 3 years. Their immense financial and material support allow us to make all the necessary preparations for the occasion. In the same vein, I sincerely commend the OIC Secretary General and his staff for magnificently running the organization's affairs since his appointment. Their delegation and tireless efforts hugely contribute to the success of our collective endeavors. Relatedly, allow me to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the President of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency President Xi Jinping. His contribution towards the construction of this splendid state-of-the-art conference center is remarkably invaluable. The center symbolizes our unity and stands as a testament to the enduring partnership between our two countries. Its benefits to the Gambian nation cannot be overemphasized, as it fosters economic growth and enables us to host such prestigious gatherings, thus boosting our international standing. Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, and distinguished guests, you have convened here today with the awareness that the Muslim world faces numerous challenges, ranging from the calamities of terrorism to factional violence and armed conflicts. Amid these unrests, we must reaffirm our commitment to mediation and dialogue as indispensable mechanism to resolve conflict and foster lasting peace. It is fitting, therefore, that the theme for this 15th session is enhancing unity and solidarity through dialogue and sustainable development. Excellencies, esteemed delegates, since the OIC seeks to promote solidarity and unity among Muslims around the world and find solutions to their problems, this summit provides a unique opportunity for member states to strengthen relations through dialogue, share experiences for deeper mutual understanding, and adopt innovative resolutions that go beyond national borders to foster collective peace and inclusive, sustainable development. A viable route to achieve these objectives lies in sustained cordial relations within an environment of trust and cooperation. As President of the Republic of the Gambia and Chairman of the OIC for the next 3 years, we pledge to promote unity, solidarity, and sustainable development within the Islamic world. Our approach will include prioritizing initiatives that enhance economic cooperation, foster cultural exchange, and address pressing issues such as poverty and access to education and healthcare. In collaboration with other member states, the Gambia stands committed to championing the cause of peace and stability in regions troubled by conflict. We advocate implementing diplomatic solutions and providing humanitarian assistance to alleviate the suffering of distressed people. Through proactive engagement and meaningful dialogue, we will encourage unity and solidarity among member states based on a shared vision of a peaceful, prosperous, and equitable future for all. In this context, it is essential to address the prolonged conflict in Palestine and the devastating wars in Gaza. Those encounters have caused endless human suffering for over 75 years. Certainly, the plight of the Palestinians is a matter of grave concern, not only to the Muslim Ummah, but also to the entire world. The ongoing violence, instability in the region, and humanitarian crisis in Gaza continue to make the prospects of peace remote. In fact, the hostilities pose a serious threat to regional stability and global peace. I call upon member states to take decisive action to address the root causes of the conflict and work towards a just and lasting solution. This should include convening a comprehensive peace conference for all stakeholders to negotiate a settlement that provides for the rights, dignity, security, and sovereignty of the communities affected. In our view, military action is not an option. Rather, we endorse a peace accord based on a two-state solution. This proposal is to guarantee both states the rights to full sovereignty and self-determination. Further, we affirm the need to enable the Palestinian people to regain their legitimate national rights, as recognized by the international community through its recognition of a state of Palestine within the 1967 borders with Al-Quds and Al-Sharif as its capital. At this point, allow me to comment and express our gratitude to His Majesty King Mohammed VI, Chairman of the Al-Quds Committee, for his strong commitment in defending the Islamic character of the holy city of Al-Quds Al-Sharif, to maintain peace and lasting peaceful coexistence in the entire region. As leaders of the Islamic world, we must seize this opportunity to chart a new course towards peace and reconciliation. Let us recommit ourselves to the principles of justice, equality, and mutual respect. Act collectively to end the suffering of the Palestinian people and build a future of peace and prosperity for all. I commend South Africa for its recent decision to take Israel to the International Court of Justice. Following in our footsteps, to seek justice under the Genocide Convention. This bold move illustrates the collective commitment of the international community to the principle of justice and human rights. It sends a powerful message that impunity for grave violations of international law, such as those committed against the Palestinian people, will not be tolerated. We stand in solidarity with South Africa and all those who advocate justice and accountability, and we pledge our support for their efforts to seek redress for the victims of atrocities committed by Israel. Your Excellencies, I am proud to state that in its capacity as chair of the ad hoc OIC Ministerial Committee on Human Rights Violations against the Rohingya people, the Gambia is actively pursuing the legal proceedings filed against Myanmar in the quest for justice and accountability. We consider it an obligation to stand in solidarity with the oppressed and vulnerable populations and champion the cause of human rights in accordance with the principles of the Genocide Convention. The legal case of the Rohingya pursued by the Gambia at the ICJ boldly represents concerted international effort to address the ongoing human rights crisis in Myanmar and ensure accountability. The Gambia's initiative has received widespread support. Numerous countries, human rights organizations, and legal experts endorse our action and call for justice for the Rohingya people. I invite member states to contribute towards meeting the legal fees for this legal battle and urge that we stand in solidarity against oppression and atrocity. Your Excellencies, under the Gambia's chairmanship of the OIC, agreed strategies and initiatives will be implemented to promote solidarity, unity, and problem-solving among member states. The approach will aim at advancing the organization's main objectives. The Gambia is thus willing to enhance dialogue, cooperation, and mediation to resolve conflicts among member states. Excellencies, unfortunately, underdevelopment characterizes many member states. Hence, poverty, inequality, and natural disasters make humanitarian assistance and development aid necessary. The need is also obvious for significant capacity building and technical assistance to address the governance, healthcare, education, and infrastructure development requirements in certain member states. By addressing such development challenges, peace and stability would be guaranteed. With peace, the organization can promote the rich Islamic cultural heritage and values through cultural exchange programs and educational initiatives. In the process, we can proudly showcase our Muslim identities worldwide to promote peace, understanding, and solidarity. Esteemed delegates, we live in a world that requires religious tolerance, which does not imply abandoning one's beliefs or values. It is simply a means of promoting peace, understanding, respect, and dialogue within the Muslim world and across communities and religious groups. Additionally, member states should promote and increase economic cooperation and trade among themselves. This has the prospect of showcasing the shared values of the Islamic Ummah and sharing the blessings Allah has bestowed on many of our member countries. Such strategies could equally contribute to fulfilling the aspirations of young people in search of better livelihood. It is wise as well that we harness our diversity to devise strategies that respond to the demands of change and reform. But this must be informed by our noble values, ideas, and objectives. In conclusion, let us reaffirm our commitment to justice, equality, and mutual respect, and redelegate ourselves to the honorable cause of advancing the interests of the Muslim Ummah and humanity. May this summit serve to fulfill our vision of unity and solidarity through dialogue and sustainable development, and act as a catalyst for positive change to pave the way for a world of peace, security, and prosperity for all generations. I pray also that the future is filled with joy and marked by reconciliation, harmony, and progress for the OIC, the Muslim Ummah, and humanity at large. I thank you for your kind attention.
The President of the Republic, President Adama Barrow, and Chair of the OIC, they are addressing the opening ceremony of the 15th OIC Summit here in Banjul. And joining us now on the program, I have Ahmed Jite, a Gambian based in Canada, who is in the country. I'm not sure whether he's purposely here for the summit, but it seems he's here just for this summit. And then I have Dr. Ismail Sisa as well, Gambia's Minister of Information. Gentlemen, welcome to this program. I mean, let me start with you, Jite. First and foremost, I mean, what's your impression of this summit so far?
Ali, thank you, a brother and a friend. And, you know, I'm grateful to be here on this panel. Let me send special greetings to my big brother, Dr. Ismail Assisi, and congratulations formally on your appointment as Information Minister. I must confess that since his appointment, you have changed the image of the government immensely.
Thank you.
And we're very, very happy about that. And to my big brother as well. Well, I'm sure we'll get into details later, but it's been amazing. In fact, my expectations of this summit has been perhaps exceeded. I have been worried about one thing that perhaps opponents have been, you know, speculating and, you know, spreading all over, that we cannot actually accommodate the flights, the fleets of aircraft for our people. And Alhamdulillah, all but 2 aircrafts are here, parked at our international airport. And I think that's amazing, the security aspect and the hospitality of Gambian people. So generally the message by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, at the opening entails all that we need as member states of the OIC. So generally it's very impressive, and it's just a success for every Gambian. That's
and where do you think this summit, the hosting of this summit, will leave the country?
Well,
as
I mean,
chair of the OIC?
First and foremost, there are people, there are guests that are here that have probably never heard of this country. There is a guest that I interacted with yesterday, who prior to this OIC, you know, hosting, knows not about this small country. So you have CNN here, you have Al Jazeera, you have BBC World Service, and you know, they're covering the program because there are very important world issues being discussed. You know, Palestine, Israel conflict, and many other burning issues on the international stage. So the image of our country is being really raised, and it's everywhere in the world. And you have economic aspect to all of this. A lot of guests have come. We have our local hotels. In fact, the guests couldn't fit in hotels. There are guest houses, individual, you know, private properties like Bruford Heights, where, you know, I mean, the places where rented for our guests. These are all gains economically for the country. You have, you know, the roads, the OIC road, these infrastructural developments that we have in the electricity. And there has been a lot of training for our security, the intelligence service, you know, the defense, and the police. And, you know, of course, we have the information power here. He would actually know more in details than I do. But I think overall, it's a great success for our country. There is politics, there is national matter. And I think the understanding of that is really, really limited in our country. All these guests that come here, very few of them knew about other political parties in terms of the differences and issues. Most of them are government officials. In fact, all of them almost are government officials of other countries. They've come here all they say when they speak is Gambia. They don't say NPP, they don't say UDP, they don't say APRC. All they say is Gambia, Gambia, Gambia. So for us to unite and see to it that this organization of ours, this summit is successful, is actually in the best interest of all of us as people. God knows who takes over the country next election, or 10, 20, 40 years to come. You will want to have a country that is in good shape, a country that everybody will be proud of under your leadership. So I think overall, it's been a great success.
And just before I bring in Dr. here, finally, GT, I mean, President Barrow is now the chairman of the OIC. I mean, what do you think should be his immediate priorities as chair of the OIC, considering all what is happening within the Muslim Ummah?
I mean, you are aware of Gambia's very active participation in the fight against the injustice meted against the Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar. Yeah. We of course took them to International Criminal Court. We led that fight. And you're also aware of South Africa taking Israel to International Criminal Court, and Gambia participated.
Court of Justice.
International Court of Justice.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And Gambia participated. Dawda Jallow delivered a very, very wonderful statement on behalf of the Gambia, and President Adama Barrow on several occasions made public statements where he emphasized and stressed the need for immediate ceasefire and condemned the senseless killings that are happening or have been happening for the past 75 years of innocent Palestinians. I'm sure among many issues that are on the table, the president would really be pushing for immediate and everlasting solution, or two-state solution as they will call it, between the Palestinians and Israelis. And of course, you know, there is never a better time for the Muslim Ummah to unite in the face of a lot of injustice against Muslims around the world. And of course, in general, we need a world that is peaceful for everybody. And of course, I mean, as the chair of OIC, Gambia will benefit a lot. I'm sure for the next 2-3 years, these developments that began are not just stopping because the summit ends today. They are going to continue, and a lot more development activities and programs and all of that will be coming to the country. And Gambia will be highly involved in decision making as the chair of OIC for the next few years.
Let me now bring in Dr. Ismaila. Doctor, I mean, final day of the summit, I mean, we're expecting the communique, the Banjul Declaration, and of course a press conference later by the chair of the OIC. And looking back at the journey and realizing that today is a final day, you must be relieved and proud, not just as a state minister, but a Gambian
well, I think every Gambian should be proud. First of all, we'd like to extend our appreciation to the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, for making this possible. He showed leadership, he showed wisdom, he showed dedication, he showed belief that the Gambia could do it when many doubted that we could do it. He showed belief we could do it, and we did it. And by and large, it's a success. The reviews we've got so far, it's a huge, huge, huge success for the Gambia. So every Gambian should be proud of what we have achieved as a country. And like my brother had said, this is not about politics or region or tribe or religion. This is about Gambia. Gambia has succeeded. Gambia has hosted one of the most successful OIC summits ever since 1969. That is a fact. And let me just compliment what he was saying about the aircraft. And I had mentioned this earlier, that the issue of taking it to Senegal was a contingency. We had enough parking at the airport, but when heads of states travel, their travel itinerary is fluid. They can say we are coming and they won't come. We can say we're not coming and they come. They can say we're coming with 1 aircraft and they come with 3 aircrafts. So to avoid a situation where we'll have a lot of issuing a lot of travel clearances, landing clearances, and there's not enough space, we had a contingency plan to say in case we couldn't park most of the planes, they'll go to Senegal. But fortunately, we have about 16 aircrafts currently parked at the Banjul International Airport from various countries. The only 2 that went to Senegal was even by their own choice. It's not because there is not enough. We could park them here, but Senegal wanted to park them in Senegal, and the Ivorian president also, the rep of the Ivorian press also want to park it in Senegal. So it's a huge success at every aspect of it. Protocol, top notch, no complaints. Security, you've seen what's happening. Administrative wise, the issues that are coming from the summit. top notch as well. Accommodation, no issues like Ahmed Jite has said. But also when it comes to the vehicles, everything is smooth. The media, a lot of were doubting whether Gambia could breathe it, because for me that's the most important part of it. You see, the heads of states and the presidents and the ministers coming here, they left far more beautiful hotels back home. They are bigger roads, bigger houses. They're here for the visibility. They're here for the visibility so the world can see that they're in Banjul for the summit, and that is that collaboration has went well, and we have a very good coverage plan in place, and you see how successful it is.
And on the sidelines of the men's summit, could you just share with us what's been happening on the sidelines?
Well, on the sidelines there will be a lot of bilaterals between Gambians and other countries, but also other countries as well. That is why if you go inside the conference room, that's what they call the ministerial holding room, where ministers of different countries, foreign ministers, can meet and discuss issues of pertinence for their bilateral relations. Apart from that, the idea is the Banjul Declaration, which is coming out tomorrow, and the agenda, top on the agenda, is the Israel-Palestinian conflict, where we are pushing, the OIC is pushing for an immediate and sustainable ceasefire, supporting efforts led by Qatar and Egypt as well. But also Sudan. Sudan is in turmoil since for the past, and there is a threat of a famine in Sudan, a threat for famine also in Gaza as well, because of lack of access to food aid. And if you listen to the speech of the Secretary General and the President yesterday, all efforts are being put in place to alleviate the suffering of the people of Gaza, but also to ensure there is immediate ceasefire, and going forward that Palestine becomes an independent state.
Let me just bring in Jite here. Ngama demandi mana kaunto. I mean, ngaje ita pani nata purke mabe nying summit membe kering jang. I mean, as a Gambian, I mean, yo mune kalamuta kabeli nata kunung yaje finally Gambia benyi summit hoskam. Metale no sanje jelle ko molba pala abekela atekela, and now final day of the summit.
Ali onani chado de. Gaya no yamani ka kawan sa. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Kontaan da bake komi ngafo angale kawla nyame. Mbe kondo na bake aketa nyebunyati fanam puru nga mabeja. Barin koto mabeja mi yalon ko alhamdulillah minister kutolem ya fara kaydo kono pul. Dr. Ismaila Cisse na kebale alhamdulillah mba kontonna be duwala e palaso nyimmi alon ko aya sotote fo alasa je ma faye ala ngani minti ku kendoro alasa kay bari ngami fo mba sen kan kabiri e kenyim palaso do ku jama bale falinde mol man fellong mini alon ko mansa kunda be ke kam bi wol be fundital odon be tendula be jayla adum be encourage la mba fo le continuer ila do ku kendola adun dol fanal be parelal wate pour ne do ku ke Mansa Kunda anin Gambia bankola hajo ka sama OIC summit mi alon ko dunia muslima bankol bela kafu bañi yalon ne namanke United Nations General Assembly di kafuti je me watanyin ñenna mu atanni lulu njaw the 15th summit alhamdulillah rabbil alamin ndesila nun diamo siara nun bake sate o kon plenol te kunna jang dun dangol tina abe bayila la te kela kujama keta bari mi alon ko adiyatante fang bari pleno ni alon di banko kan luolu ko do ka soto jele ni mo la pleno sama na alon di dulato ko do ka soto je airport ko do soto je pleno min nata jan naman ke plen fulat plen fula o plen do mi alon ko docteur asene ndi jang pleni tang ani worowula e bebe lorin gambela airport to jang femmanta dulato adun ay min fo very important ko wol fangol lata amanke ko forosele mi tolle fangol lafta pour yeta bari ni OIC jibe ko kontanda bake lundan jamana ta jam president Adama Barrow be diamo mi alon ko kumata bak sonkol min be kering batal min be kering Palestine lon ning Israeli lon la amanke kelot Israeli lon lebe kido ta kan be jorangol ta ke be Palestine lon fa ke la banko kan ke tilimbali afa woketa kuti mi alon ko kachata adabe kachakan ado ngalo doctor dol senen de la declaration on mimbina as Gambia's information minister niaji be fanan security la fanna la tanko alhamdulillah rabbil alamin nga fen jamale soto jam hotelol fata e mol fanali cordal soto mi alon ko ye jelta ye luwase pour luntangol e nawot woto alhamdulillah rabbil alamin ntol ngaje nyame OIC ay Gambia to bondi bak mulundangol nada min yalon ko janni OIC kasi nyim programme o kasi nena man Gambia banko to moy wol nata jambi atol bijang of course na local media houses GRTS nyol QTV nyol albakata kambake but international media houses ol nada kunun mbe doctor la interview jibe kan with Al Jazeera on Israel and Palestinian conflict. So wobe fenke kan mbaji be kan on Al Jazeera mafo WhatsApp de mbaji be kan live on Al Jazeera. So nga wol jele nga BBC World Service CNN nyolu aning Press TV
comme inyabala na foreign minister Dr. Tangara aning delegation dolbe mitkan comme ya fan meeting ol melbe caring. Those are live images from within the conference center itself. So inyabala delegates are still coming in.
Alhamdulillah. So ibajala ko nyimu fenneti mi yalon ka kumara banko baka aliu in general ntenga mira nyimu fenneti mi yalon ka alhamdulillah Gambia na fa basoto je adum fenne mi yalon ko benyanda bulo kosila president Adama Barrow ani mansa kunda bari benyanda bulo kosila ndamali mi yalon ko dallel mu Gambia dingol kaya ko nyim programme o bemba min keta teng anatale nga commencé nuna alhamdulillah bismillahir rahmanir rahim adum bi abe banna ni Allah taala sonda alhamdulillah dun tangol nen Gambia to di masita
comme nga fa nyamen from yesterday President Barrow atlekira chairman of the OIC ni manke place ndinti organizer of 7 member countries and ndol mol ka is jefit se bante bente ka fo OIC mu dunya be kapoti ka de kaje banku dol be je ida mantra OIC kono bari fe mo fe be kacala jang that interested in it because banku dol be je is true a matter of for example US but in Nitaraje how many millions of Muslims are there and then when you look at the agenda Palestine la ko ay mo bele interest mo interest sotoje so ita meroko mo nyanta kala the current chala immediate priority pour kaje Cairo e sabati especially in Palestine
abaraka baake wo mu kutimi alonga kuma da follow President Barrow sanyi atelebe nyim bankol be muslimo bankol be ila siraw nyin atelebe akunti yala tolom chat Gambia bankol ba nyaton kala wo mu palaso ti mi alon ka wata ba na friends o dol mi alon ko debe opposition stabil 2021 e kan jele ka foko na keba hani ECOWAS anen ma nyaton kayalo bari ECOWAS mo banku tanni world eko AU amanya ton kayalo AU mo 52 now plus 1 or 54 countries sign 53 plus 1 Sudan mi alon ko I farata fulat on 54 bari nyimo 57 countries le design afela wo chia ba kontonna nyim palasi bala bari e min fo eko on easy lies the head that wears the crown o munna alfa la kumol momi e sanaka bandung o kungo buka feada ka kulial oto tubabol kamin fo dolam nyaton kaya mu fenneti min akolata ba bi president Barrow be muslima bankol be la kafu ba atele be kala la president atele be kala la nyaton ko di Gambia bankol be tambila fe o fembe caring aketa Saudi Arabia ta aketa Israel ni Palestine ta aketa Sudan di Gambia bankol be tambila benya o mo palace baldi hani Saudi Arabia ibinani Gambia la nyaton kaya ko be fe o fenke la janni ni sanji fula saba womo palace baldi ndolede nga mingi ke wolam Cairo la Karola President Barrow ni manke kukutati nga kalamuta janne Gambia banko President Barrow kodo Myanmar mi alon ko muslimol bi je Rohingyas mi alon ko meta ke fay ko manke banko dingolti nga wol samba non kiti dunia la kiti bumba nga kiti okosi kama jele dunia kontanda ole makoy adum fana nga kalamta le South Africa ye Israel samba kiti bumbato je kayitandile ko albe minna tilimbali ala turubangolong yo Gambia fele na Justice Minister Dawda Jallow tata je President Adama Barrow ni Gambia banko be toyala kayitandi ko mimbe kering Gambia man la fala adu ngandabula South Africa fe anim mo kendo be ay man hanni manke muslimo di fam mimbe kering Adama Diara manke silo so wo mu kulleti min yalan ko President Barrow ke hani janning akake chairman ot adu lata lako ni ala dia mo jibe ay minke kunu kabiribe bengo da yelela Palestine ni Israel fota jet an koto ma mimo information ministry sati ayan hakilo bulandi al hakili nyima hakilo bulandi kuwo min be ke kam muslimol fanal dammal tema Sudan banko kam momin be fa kanje ala drone alon so nyilmu kudi mi alon ko ngamra president Adama Barrow abello la ka make so ala Gambia la nyaton kaya koto Israel nim Palestine Israel be tilimbalia minnaten ka Palestinian fa ke turban ke ka kujaw be kela ka konkon di fen fen ne aduma ko fenjaw le ba ke kala president Barrow ba make so la inshallah ka ko bang e ka je ko Palestine ye fansum banko soto ada ayatara mome tora ime batandi ndangamre wom fenade mi alon ko president Barrow aba make sure wo kuma anin Sudan fana anin ku jamal min alon ko ndol mawolon bayre ndol de konodo na alpha babi jammi alon ko asewol kasano molele inshallah ali
abarka bake Ahmed Kite doctor bringing na radio domain as a minister how is the mood like within the cabinet at all minister Dama cabinet the whole kono and finally Gambia is hosting the summit cabinet fintita how was the mood?
It was a very proud moment. Ela tanga maniko mo kulo mi alon ka ketan fe kontane ko
ngala intermento mo jawle QTV jule kan
ketan fe kontane koti bawo minister sol imeta doko la fanang
as you are seeing on your screens delegates are still driving into the main conference center here in Barrow, I mean, for the final day of this 15th Oic Summit here in Banjul, and you're watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station. Yes, Doctor.
Minister Sol meta doko la. Luolong loko kamit sinya kin wala sinya fula. Ika fa di Oic Ministerial Board. Minister Sol lebe ko na mialon ko fengo fe mialon ko decision olong. Wado la mino kada fo montoro wati luluti lokon. Muka pare juna. Pour ka je ko Oic tat anyi meta kelale. Woto Minister Sol berin kuninda holo kono faje minje. Nga ibe la face jube nga ko bebe contente mo bebe se worin kaje ko finally Oic anatale and successful talent bari inse kuma kele la fa na broda me jete min fo bari ate fana mbata to lamba jala because I mean ke banko den kendo ka wala ke Oic sita ala tikedo kun anata pour kana Gambia face ka president of face Oic sito mo jamal be jambi banko dingol long e be sering la dolal to e be dua kam pour Oic feel ate mo anata fo Gambia kana ka Gambia fasa ka president of fasa ka je ko mbenga do ko minke nsala bankaro kono ramba tendu lamba jayla ay min fa ko mata baki ando we hakilo fina ne ko president Barrow bina kala nyaton ko ti pour banko tang lulu aning woro wala o manke nga banko la ko ke karal mo million jelle be nyim banko talu ni woro wala kono amina billion fola sila mo billion fola bi umma islamic umma president Barrow le nyaton kaya tuddi Oic mo mi anon kay banko mi nyaton kay ma million sabasi wena mo billion fula abina o sila wol be nyaton kay wato minna wato kolata bake muslim umma nyinto because ebe muslim all islamic umma is under attack kuno ya moyla wo mala priority kaje ko that attack wo stop fulanjang wolo monti Cairo na Palestine Cairo na Sudan aning muslime dingol mi alon ko be sal bankol mi alon ko mantar Cairo kono jawo wo isaje ike injustice mi jay bank comme rohingya so min foten ko mala priority bari musolla ko fana binale aning funding kela ko aning family solla ko aning science I remember saying age of science artificial intelligence it's a big issue OIC mo nek pour ka aning deep fake mi alon ko BCC amajireta ya dondi fakatara nim mo ya mar amajidela katara make o tre because bi Gambia bi ne ajube Gambia buke miraka foko banko be wala Gambia attack ani misalo la bari mo kelin se sino New York and a critical infrastructure attack through technology e banko be soro fo Oic si pare wo be la kaje ko men fan tankala nyaade Oic banko in this age bari ka kumo kela question or answer mo bele sewota and president for ne ajalon ka be seworinde ala speech top notch 100%. Not only the substance of the speech, but if ala diplomatic posture. Aka lo nyame yaje kono mbiri masakol binakang. Ake control nyame, ake jia nyame, ala speech adiamuta nyame. Abayatande ko Gambia bi mo bebe se warinda.
Wa Mr. Mbodj ba indi rek denga ñaari li wax Dr. Ismaila Cissé ak Ahmed Kite xam naa denga angale bi sosé bi la am na show ndax denga li ñu wax ci sosé waaye la nga jàngal ci seen wax
no waaye xam nga ñu ngi wax all the time liñ doon wax the significance of this meeting and ñun suñ performance bañ ñu ooyee naka lañ uyoo everybody ñu ngi come together xam nga démb rek ñu ngi wax ne ñu ngi fi gis ñoom Ousseynou Dabo ñu ngi fi gis everybody else xam nga ñoom ni ñu ko dee waxee sax dañ lay wax ne be the politics, be national development. Man to me nag yëpp politics la de waaye politics dafa war a healthy. Ku nekk am nga sa views on things, sanga am nga sa programme, sanga that sort of thing. Politics na healthy. Dama xam loo xam ne mu ngi within the domain of party politics. Fu jaar ñu am healthy political competition. That's the whole point of democracy. Waaye tamit xam naa la nekk in the national interest. ñu ñoo wax ne in Britain dégg naa once a week the prime minister or the leader of the opposition ngay waxtaan fi national interest. Booy seetaan PMQ si yaa ngi foog ne loolu rek la demee fekk du dëgg. So that was fantastic. ñu ñëpp ñu come together. Moo tax perhaps ñu ngi ko def a success. Today mooy the final day. So far lañ fi doon gis. Gisuñ any issue things yaa ngi move smoothly xam nga dem ba rek di nga wax ne wow what a nice mix xam nga yaa ngi gis diplomats gis media gis medical people gis security it was quite extraordinary yaa ngi people milling about so this is it waaye leneen the key thing li tax ñu establish the OIC the issue of Palestine.
Well, that's Taha, if I'm not mistaken, moom moo nekk di ex ñoon fii ci hall bi nga ne moom moo nekk the current secretary general of the OIC moom moo nekk di dugg si ñoon fii ci hall bi ñu ngay gis ne sun foreign affairs minister bi Mamadou Tangara nga xam ne léegi tam moom moo nekk chair of the council of foreign ministers of the OIC moom tam mu ngi fa pour jéem a dimbale président pour receive guests yi already xam na ne the president already moom egsi na even though démba gudde na fi waaye tey suba teel la ñëw xam nga because moom moo nekk njaatige bi so foo mu nekk fa pour mun a gis ne képp ku ñëw rek mu fekk ko fa te foo naa loolu am solo la.
Absolutely. So lan tax ñu essentially ñu form the OIC mooy li xew am Palestine ak Israel nag diggante gi since 1948 but around 1969 am na lu xew Al-Aqsa Mosque ñu ngi ko bom da yaxasa pulpit bi Salauddin daan pray Salauddin moo mujjee jël Jerusalem from the Crusaders in the 12th century. It was massive. So it was actually the mufti of Jerusalem ku wax ne añ leen am fii meeting then Hassan II of Morocco mu oote the meeting doolu jox leen nag the platform pour ñu form xam nga a body boo xam ne dina fight for the common interest of Muslims even though the idea mu ngi fa woon 1924 sax am Abdul Aziz moo njëkk a ooy congress ne leen ñun nag war nañoo am plateforme boo xam ne dañoo deal with Muslims si suñ issues like since the Ottoman Empire jeexal after the First World War Muslims si amatuñ that dominance that control biñ amoon over time so waaye nag it's been very difficult the state of Palestine ak Israel has been very difficult am na ñu ko dee ooyee sax it's a settler colony very powerful people ñoo leen back be it the US, be it EU, you're leen back. So it's been very, very difficult for the OIC to def any inroads in that. But perhaps, mënuñ leen a judge like how you perform for or not. Because over the years, you evolve to take on a broader range of interests. I think they have some interest for the Muslim community. Dr. Sisa, be it in science, be it in the guy that renewable energy from the issues there. Environment and all of that. And even before that, I said 1972 charter. For the first charter, it was essentially about cooperation, solidarity, doing things together. Then you have a 2008 charter.
So gradually you brought in that focus on all those
things. Yes, the 2008 charter will include women's issues, youth, good governance, civil liberties. We respond to the world, international events, we shape the way we evolve, just as with everybody else. So this is it. But that issue of Palestine, meeting a torop the guy work on that. Why in other areas? The guy done very well. I remember over the years, OIC, more UN recognize PLO. Palestine Liberation Organization, Yasser Arafat. You may remember in the 70s, by PLOB, in conflict with Jordan. NASA, King Faisal, oil OIC conference, you resolve ko. So when you look into the details, they've been resolving issues within Islam. So magnificent major gains over the years. So ñun suñ theme mooy enhancing unity
and solidarity
through dialogue
for sustainable development.
So foog naa lii laa bëgg a laaj gars yi
I think what the Gambia is going to do now is based on the theme. They'll now drop strategic goals and an implementation plan, which is also based on the theme. How do you promote unity within the Islamic Ummah? Solidarity for sustainable development. So I think based on the strategic themes, that'll be implementation plan, and our Gambia can take charge. But like both Mboj and Ahmed has said, the whole idea is that the president now has a task, which is to put on the agenda peace in Palestine.
Quite interesting. Why, Dr. Sohore, dafa mel ni size matawut.
Boyo, abaraka.
Gambia ko xool ak ndawaay bi. I mean, nga war a jiite li nga ne moo nekk 57. mun naa ne adduna bi la. xam nga ECOWAS mu nga ne region la. AU benn continent rek la. Why this about the whole world? You're having countries from the whole world. I mean, Gambia war ko jiite. Dafa mel ni size bi matawut anymore.
moo tax ma ndaw ak ma ne ko bu leen xeeb suñ boppa. Gambia dëkk bu ndaw la by size, by population, perhaps by economy. waaye suñ xol yi dafa rëy xol yi dafa yaatu. te gis nga li du guléet de. foog naa waxoon nañ ko fi keroog. in 19 daami Iraq bi.
waaw when Jawara was the head of the peace committee. waaw
Iraq kan lañ jël ñu jiital ko ne ko demal nga waxtaan mbir mi. sax da kay rabaa Jawara. so ñun Gambia buñ xeeb suñu boppa dëkk bu ndaw la waaye dëkk bu am barke la. xam nga ndaw nga am barke moo gën daan nga rëy te amuloo barke ñun nag dañ ndaw am barke. waaye seetal tamit dëkk ñoo xam ne ñu nekk OIC mostly ñaari criteria la mooy ne da nga war a nekk Islamic state by constitution wala over 50% of sa population jullit lañ waaye te am na ñoo xam ne sax amuñ loolu noonu yëpp ba léegi ñu ngi si OIC.
comme loolu ñu ngi gis délégation yaa ngi ñëw ba léegi. maa ngi gis secrétaire cabinet Aliou Ndiaye mu ngi noonu di receive délégation yi xam naa ñu bari si ñoom dañ ñëw pour just fekkee li nga ne moo nekk meeting bi already xam na ne président bi moom is already mu ngi around waaye ñoom secrétaire cabinet rada Aliou Ndiaye ak yeneen senior government officials ñoo fa nekk pour receive délégation yi nga xam ne ñu ngi agsi.
am na ñoo xam ne tey am nañ observer status.
waaw
ay
Russia,
African
ay
Union,
Bosnia, ay
African Union seen chairperson of the committee maa ko bigee airport. So it means that ñoom ñëpp am nañ ay China, ay Russia. dëkk yu bëri fa am nañ observer status in the America sax they send a permanent rep to the OIC. So da nga gis ne tey aduna si yëpp am nañ dara pour def ak OIC bi kon président Adama Barrow mu ngi jiite loo xam ne du lu ndaw te mun na ko am na xam-xam bi am na pexe bi am na wisdom bi am na maxaama bi tamit te ñu ngi ko ndokkeel tamit si maxaama boobu la doon a dimba.
Jërëjëf. Well, we was just Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, the Gambia's information minister. You're watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station, and we're broadcasting from the OIC Conference Center here in Bigilo. My name is Aliou Ceesay, and I'm here with Mr. Mboj. We are glad to be joined on the program by the mayors of Banjul, Rohey Malick Lowe. I mean, mayors, good to have you on the program. I mean, to start with, I mean, of course, is the Banjul OIC Summit, and is the Banjul OIC Summit. I mean, as the mayors of Banjul, I mean, how do you feel saying finally we are hosting the summit?
Aliou, thank you very much, and thank you for having me on your platform. It is my utmost pleasure to be here, and as it is said, the Banjul Summit. So obviously, it means that Banjul is the host. So whether I am here or not, I should be here, because the Banjul, the name itself said it all. So I am so grateful to be here, and I want to first and foremost congratulate His Excellency President Adama Barrow, the entire government, his entire government, and indeed the people of Banjul. So, and also to welcome the guests, which I did yesterday, and again I am here today to have more bilaterals.
Having more bilaterals, but yesterday when you sat in that plenary and you saw things happening, I mean, it's no more a dream, it's happening in real life. I mean, showing them handing that baton to the chairmanship of President Barrow. As a Gambian, not just as a politician or as a mayor of Banjul, but just as a Gambian sitting back and seeing that happening, what was the feeling like at that particular moment?
There is nothing like how I feel. I never doubted that it will happen, to be quite honest, because the problem is we always take Gambia as a very small country, but that doesn't mean that we cannot do things. For example, when we went to have when we competed for the Rafaela presidency. Many countries were thinking that we cannot have the position, but we did it. So I have no doubt in my mind that we were able to do the OIC.
And okay, what do you think? I mean, the hosting of this summit, for example, a country as small as the Gambia. I mean, what do you think other countries can learn from the Gambia? I mean, despite our size, we're here hosting such a summit.
Maybe the hospitality, first and foremost. And secondly, also, I've seen the theme, that the emphasis that the president did and other speakers also, that is to the empowerment of women and youth. And if I say the empowerment of women and youth, I'm saying it in the context of the emphasis they are doing when they all spoke about peace. Because when we talk about peace, the first thing that everybody will think of is women. Because when crisis happen, who suffer most? They are the women. So this is what interests me most in this summit. And I was, what exactly I was expecting is what I heard from the leaders. I spoke to a lot of them. I have bilaterals with the Vice President of Libya, with the President of Cyprus, with the President, the Deputy Prime Minister of Palestine, the etc. and so forth. So, and all of them inspired me simply because their emphasis was towards peace, and they are looking at it in the context of women and youth. So the summit, I can say, has definitely addressed my issues.
If you would permit me, Alu, just to add on to what the Lord Mayor has said about what the world can learn from Gambia. I think she said that we are, but also I would add resilience and self-belief. Remember, it's been 5 years we've been trying to organize this, and there has been a lot of hiccups and challenges along the way, yet the country never gave up. I know, and I'm aware there were countries who are trying to take it away from Gambia to say they want to host it, but Gambia said no, we are going to host it. I think that that resilience, that self-belief that you could do it, I think is something that the world can learn also from Gambia.
Just Mayor,
but Ali, I think what the countries learn is very, very important. But the aftermath of the summit also is very, very important for me, because remember, the president has the chair, will have the chair for 3 years, and what we expect from him is the women and the youth to be empowered within these 3 years. So it means that Gambia can take advantage out of this summit within the period of 3 years, and I'm sure we're going to do something out of this.
Let me just ask the mayor something. I wonder, how can you leverage this meeting? You said you've had bilaterals with other governments, and perhaps to encourage investment or some kind of economic agreements for Banjul, you know, leveraging it for economic benefits, as it were.
I wouldn't say exactly what all my bilateral entails, because we are still, I'm still doing bilaterals. Yeah. And after the summit, of course, I will come out and tell the Banjulians exactly what we have benefited from the OIC, and I can tell you for sure that we have benefited big time. Exactly. I can tell you that. Absolutely. But I wouldn't say that in front of my uncle before, because they would run after those people.
Exactly.
No need to go into the details, only that taking advantage of opportunities.
But we also thought we have benefited big time. I can tell you that when it comes to education, empowerment of women, which was more of my interest.
Well, mais soo ñu mënee wax tuuti rek tey bi nga toogee nga gis ne ñu ngi dalal li nga mën ko summit bi ban yëg-yëg nga am gis ne Gambia ñu ngi xool summit bi waxtu bu ñu toll nii.
waaw Aliou jërëjëf waxoon naa la ne soo ma invité sa plateforme bi di may làkk olof. waaye da nga dëgër bopp wax naa la ba sonn ne la ñi mag saanil karta ay olof lañ. waaw waaye soo ñëwee rek teg ma rek.
waaw moo tax
dugal ma ci anglais bi.
parce que xam ne
wax naa ne juddoo ma Amérique te juddoo ma.
waaw xam nga OAS te am na àdduna bi yëpp ñu ngi seetaan te baax na bi ko xam naa ne
waaw àdduna bi yëpp a ngi seetaan waaye man suma interest mooy the local people. remember man am a local government official. man nekkuma ministre nekkuma leneen ci ko man local government ñi si marché bi ñi si badi bunka yooyu ak ñoomin kay dañ ma bëgg a dégga te xam nga ñoomin kay dañ bari problème suñ ma déggul rek ñu indi problème te fu mu nekk tey ñoom mënuñoo ñëw fii tey dama leen pini xam nga fi ñu toog tey te xam nga li leen fa teg soo mënuñ fee ñëw soo man dama war a wax ci ñoom si olof ak soose pour ñu dégga ma soo ngir yàlla ñaan na la soo ma indi sa plateforme yi fii man compute ma kenn man is me versus me so di may làkk li nga xam ne ñi ma sànni carte loolu
waaw xam naa am nga ay partenaires yi tam nekkul ci réew mi te am nga ñoom dégguñ olof am na ñu ngi seetaan waaw suñu dégg maires bi ngi wax ci olof
ñooñu xam nga duñu seetaan
waaw léegi nañ doon ci olof bi kon
waaw ñooñu duñu seetaan QTV dama dee làkk anglais fi ñu ko dee seetaan yi waaw mag sant yàlla bu baax a baax kontaan trop especially bokkaa suma nijaay plateforme kii suma nijaay axan la suma yaay ñun bokkal ndey moom la bokkal ñoom la bokkal baay kon su ma toogee fii bokkaat moom plateforme damaa ñeme waaye digga man dama kontaan si OIC bi njëkk li tax ma kontaan mooy ne OIC bi ñun ñoo ko moom waa Banjul su fekkee ne nguur gi dañ gore rek ñoom xam nañ ne doo mun a wax ne di Banjul Summit Banjul Islamic Summit ba pare nga war cee génne Banjul moo tax man desuma si gannaaw te xaaruma ku ma ci oo parce que doo mën a ñëw jël suma tur teg ko fene di xaar di Banjul Declaration ba pare ne mayo bi moom di nga ko ci boole man xaaruma kenn ku ma oo understand nga man dama sol suma daala yi ñëw war a bokk ci li nga xam ne ñun ñoo ko moom ñun waa Banjul ñoo ko moom te li ma doon expect sax mooy from the beginning si lañ waroon a sax am waa Banjul yoo xam ne ñoom bokka nañ ci gis si seen boppa waaye ndaxte sax waa Gambie yëpp parce que bokka ñun kontaan nañ bi nga xam ne ci yaa bi mooy anti fàtte naa suma ba anti turam léegi sax moom itamit waa Banjul te moo nekk ci yaa bi moo nekk ci yaa wumaan bi waaye dafa am njëriñ yu bari yoo xam ne démb ak tey man gis naa ko si ñoom balaa sommet bi di am na jéego yoo xam ne jëloon naa ko pour ñu bari ma mën a gisante ñoom si biir loolu gisante boobu gis naa di président vice président de Libya gisante nañ am nañ bilatéral bilatéral bi wax dëgg sa yàlla ma sant yàlla bu baax a baax a baax a baax a baax parce que ñi nga xam ne ñoo ma booleeg ñoom muy North Cyprus wax ak ñoom ba ma mën a toog ak ñoom bi ma toogee ak ñoom méttiwut naxariwut ma gis président of North Cyprus tamit toog nañ am nañ bilatéral waxtaan nañ nangutoo nañ li ma wax yëpp genn wàll gi daf ko nangutoo Pakistan seen deputy prime minister bi tamit am nañ bilatéral moom itamit gisante nañ so maa ngi ñëw waxtaan ak Malaysia tamit te ñoom Pakistan ñoom itamit ñoo ma jàppale pour ma mun a wax Pakistan pour ma mun a wax Malaysia so dafa mel ni li maa def yëpp boo demee si suma Facebook page bi nëbbu wut mu ngi fa ne fanga so Morocco tamit seen Turkey seen deputy foreign minister bi moom itamit nga xam ne suma broda la His Excellency Mahmed moom itamit moom dafa ñëw sax bi suma office bi mit si ma macha allah te moom am na yu bari yoo xam ne ñu ngi ko war a def kon dafa mel ni ñun OIC bi man suma eboon ne ñun Banjul ñun la ñëwal ñun sant nañ si yàlla gis nañ si suñ boppa bu baax a baax a baax te dalal nañ gan yi tamit ni ñu leen war a dalalee te kontaan nañ ne Gambie dëkk bu ndaw la waaye alhamdulilah mun nañoo def lii te man su may wax OIC bi dama ñaan ngir yàlla man maa ngi wax in the context of OIC bi waxuma infrastructure bu am waxuma leneen lu am waxuma nothing man li maa wax mooy summit bi itself from the 4th to the 5th man loolu laa nekk di adresse te loolu laa mun a wax ne nii lañ ci gisee suñ boppa la des na before structure infrastructure yu nit ñi di wax am na ndax amul baax na da baaxul man yooyu dugguma ci yooyu parce que yooyu moom xaw ma ci dara so man di 4th and the 5th laay wax ne man as the mayor of Banjul ba pare nekk di host man kontaan naa ci bu baax a baax waaye maa ngi wax nguur gi tamit leena ne soo leen di hostati dara te Banjul moom ko suma toogu bi na nekk ci kanam dégg nga dañ ñoom nag li leen def dañ dee caalit ñoom dañ dee bëgg a jël yëpp ñoom loolu mooy seen problème ñoom su programme amee li soo sedee wax ku fang ñoom duñ dee xamante li ñoo def dañoo jël biir jël biti soo waaye problème bi mooy man du ma leen dee non man suma interest laa dee seet foofu loolu man topp ma leen understand la because man fii dama wax ne jën la géej la ku nekk da ngaa ñëw pour nappa ku nekk da ngaa ñëw pour fis kenn du xaar kenn man xaaruma suma nijaay pour mu utal ma bilatéral xaaruma foreign minister bi pour mu utal ma bilatéral man dama jël suma use suma international contact ma ni tamit ñu defaral ma ay appointment ma ñëw fii nappa ma ni tamit ut sumay jën waaye ñoom seen problème mooy dañ dee caalit
waaw léegi mooy seen problème xam naa sa nijaay na jëm a clarifier loolu noonu
comme si lan
déedéet nijaay bàyyi suma nijaay bu mu wax damaa rus
waaw léegi xam nga rek sommet bi tam leena bokk na si liñ nekk di waxtaan moo nekk mbir yi li nga xam ne mu ngi xew Palestine waaye nekkul foofu tam waaye yeneen réew yoo xam ne jaama amut fa taw nga nekk jigéen nekk koo xam ne yi fi jigéen def la soxal topp la nga foog ne OIC war na ko mun a def pour mun a jaama dellusiwaat parce que ay fitna yu bari fi ñu dee am jigéen ñi ak xale ñu si dee gën a sonn.
waaw Aliou dafa fan da nga mel ni suma wax bi dégguloo ko ñun balaa OIC bi doon door ba léegi loolu laa wax ne la ñun rafet la ñun si suñ boppa we wrote to all member states pour wax leen ne dañ bugg a gis gars yi adresse affaire yi jigéen ak affaire yi ndaw ñi te gis naa ne ñu ngi ko adresse because démba man lu anything loo xam ne génn na man itamit dama ko dee jot in my own way yoo xam ne am na yeneen jéego yoo xam ne ñu tam dañ ko dee jot because rafet la gis nga dëkk yi nga gis nii yëpp almost all dëkk yi yëpp rafet la mu ngi faa opéré suñ fa opéré tu tamit am na si ñoo xam ne ñun dañu dee support ñun kon am na yu bari yoo xam ne ñoom ñun ñu doon dégga bala ñoo ñëw si summit bi pour ñun lan lañ bëgg a dégga si affaire du summit bi
waaye si man koo nekk benn naam dégg la am na yu bari si muy when it comes to politics ku nekk am nga foo faral waaye where you're saying the live images that's the President of the Republic, President Adama Barrow, and current chair of the OIC, they are at hand to receive, delegates who are arriving now at the OIC conference center here in Banjul, and you're watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station. Li ma doon wax rek comme because yow dañ ko wax every time ne dara suñu li nga xam ne c'est about national development, about yëfi réew mi ñëpp dañu war a manko nekk benn. te def mel ne loolu feeñ na si hosting of the OIC summit comme démb liñ gis ni fi ñu bëri ñëw nañ maa ngi fi gis political party leaders yi former vice président yi ñu bëri ñëw nañ tam even the Christian community sax gis nañ bi seen rep démb. waaw
Aliou lii is a national issue xam nga man lu ma dee wax mooy ne suñ politique jotee mun nañoo dem politique waaye su national issue jotee loolu sa boppa la suma boppaa ma la gënal du bañ naa la lii du affaire Adama Barrow moomut lii de Adama Barrow am na time boo xam ne dafaa génn mu bàyyi fi turi OIC bii nii di Banjul Declaration daf koo sign rek moom de waaye moom dina dem bàyyi ko keneen mun koo use so su affaire yi dëkk jotee dañoo xool dëkk bi su politique jotee ñu ñëw bi dem politique yi man ku nekk xam na ne man UDP la man United Democratic Party laa nekk te démb bi ma gisee suma parti leader mu ñëw fii dama kontaan ma gis Mama Kandeh mu ñëw ma kontaan ma gis May Fati ñëw ma kontaan ñaata parti leader yoo fi nekk si seen parti leader bi mu fi woon tam soo parti leader si yëpp ñu ngi fi waaye ñi nga xam ne nekkuñ ci nguur gi man suma parti leader moo jël force parce que kooku ku nekk dafa foog na du fi nekk man am na koo xam ne dafa ñëw si man di ma wax ne ma intement bi nag Ousseynou Benaa la waaye ba mu gisee ba Ousseynou dafa rus te man xamoon naa ne pa bi dafaa ñëw kooku kenn gënu ko bëgg a Gambie su affaire yi Gambie jotee dafa soldat la mu ñëw toog su politique jotee ñu ne politique yi man nag leena laa dee wax man suma politique su ma amee soxla si Adama Barrow His Excellency Adama Barrow mi nga xam ne dama dee wax ne suma broda la dama sol suma daala ma dem ba si moom ma lijjante loolu bu ko defee baax na bu ko defut baax na waaye dinaa dox ma dem lijjante ji ko man nag politique enuwuma politique def ko comme Bible bi ak Quran de defuma ko parce que tamit dafa am fu mu war a mun a em so man tamit dafa am yoo xam ne yu mel nii tey man du ma bàyyi ñu jël Banjul ne Banjul Islamic Conference ma toog suma kër sangu du ma ko def su ma ko defoon tamit te du tax conférence bi dina am su ma ko defoon tamit du li ma war a am si njëriñoo ci conférence bi du ma ko njëriñoo soo defuma ko dafa am yenn yoo xam ne nag waxtaan wax dëgga am na ñoo xam ne dañ laa bàyyiloo dara ne la déedéet gis nga mu ngaa dem sa Adama Barrow de mu nga ñoom su 7 o'clock jotee timis jot ñoo yes la ñuy laaxu di dem sa Adama Barrow man may buur Banjul di xew Banjul xam naa ko
buur Banjul kay
xam nga dañ ñu waxante dëgg te yàlla tax mënuloo maa wax ne ma bul def lii ba pare yow may koo gis ngay koo def man suma conscience laa dee demee Adama Barrow si boppam xam na loolu and I can comfortably say it here billahi wallahi talaay musuma taxaw ci kanami Adama Barrow mu wax Ousseynou Dabo loo xam ne waru koo wax musta am man loolu duma ko nangu Ousseynou suma papa la waaye wax gi moo dee bari coow li soo nataaloo Adama lu tax nga nataaloo Adama soo taxawee oncle Ismaila ñu ne lu tax nga taxaw oncle Ismaila soo taxawee kële ñu ne lu tax nga taxaw moom soo léegi yow naka ngaa mun a manœuvre pour def sa liggéey soo man suma conscience moom laa dee demee man Adama Barrow amul leneen lu maa jox Aliou te loo xam ne mënu ma ko amal suma boppa Adama su ma mayee daf ma war a may su ma mayu tam daf ma war a may su ma nijaay su ma mayee war na maa may su ma mayul war na maa may parce que li nga xam ñun suñ tradition mooy ne sa càmmeñ moo dee defal jigéenam te man mun naa laa wax ne la musuma dem si Adama Barrow yóbbu ko suma soxla ne ko may ma trans o may ma diram aw ma dara de waaye suma intégrité dama ko dee bàyyi xel bu baax a baax a baax moo tax dama dee wax ne loo mun a wax si roxi Malick loo wiiri wiiri di nga jaari ndaar dëgg bi dina ñëw taxaw te man nag mënumaa nekka nettalikat yi kenn I am very independent pour dem taxaw di waxal nit loo xam ne ëllëg su ma ko su ko déggee dafa su ma ko dee def bokkuma ci loolu mënumaa seddal nit loo waxut mënumaa taxaw di kompaloo nit ci gannaawam parce que alxuraan li mu wax mooy li gën a métti ci nit loo xam ne yàlla daf ko bañ mooy jamfaa soosey dañ ko dee wax ñu ne ni jutu taala aman si di ñaala jamfaa soo ko xeebee dañ ko takku ci sa kanam soo man loolu bokku ma si kon maa ngi ñaan ñëpp ne leen OIC bi ñun ñëpp a ko bokka su nekkul OIC sax ñun li OIC bi di prix tey ñun dañ ko war a jekkali mooy peace nañ la ñu nekk benn nañ nit ñi xam ne Ousainou Darboe ak Barrow la woon bu yàgga loolu dafa important pour ñu xam ko de te dañ war a xam tamit ne présidence bi dafaa jeex te every time man dama di remind loolu suma broda pour woon ko de aftermath of the presidency dafa am te man ñaanuma yàlla Adama Barrow génn si presidency may ko gis naan ko Adama te ba moom nekkee président su ma ko gisee ne ko may broda kon na ngeen ñu bàyyi xel ak ba pare yéen journaliste da ngeen am tamit da ngeen am responsibility pour prix peace responsibility boobu yéen tam da ngeen ko am
it's important
soo leen toogee seen plateforme si lu tuuti waxal tuuti loo xam ne dafa indi jàmm si diggante nit ñi ak nit
jërëjëf Rohey Malick Lowe she is the Lord Mayoress of Banjul as we said I mean OIC Banjul Summit it was good to have you on the program Lord Mayoress jërëjëf si ni nga nangutoo pour ñëw wax ak ñun xam naa ne am nga very tight schedule yow tam yaa ngi am sa ay bilaterals comme noo ko waxee rek di nga ñëw pour nappa xam naa ne moom am naa di nga jàpp jën yu bari sa di jaay
man kay jàpp naa ay coow man kay jàpp naa ay coow xam nga ñi ñoom tooga bu ñoon rek la ñëw
thank you very much Lord Mayoress Dr. Ismaila it was good to have you on the program as well thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I think just a final message.
Okay.
The President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, is going to lead one of the biggest and most strategic organizations in the globe. And I think that puts Gambia on a very right footing to promote and project peace that the Gambia is known for. Remember, recently the President was awarded as the most peaceful President in the African continent. So it comes at a very right time. We live in an emerging world. Things are changing very fast. And I think Boja has mentioned this. The OIC deals with a wide range of issues, from women issues, youth issues, family issues, environmental issues, technology, you name it. And I think now they have a president, they have a chairperson who can now champion these issues and ensure that there's lasting and sustainable peace in Palestine and that Palestine gets an independent state. And I think that will be historical. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Ismaila Cisse. I know very soon we'll be joined by the we will go with a short break, and when we return, we'll be joined on the program by Ambassador Esa Bokarsi, who is the Deputy CEO of the OIC Gambia Secretariat. Let's take a short break, and we'll be back soon.
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled device. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Never before in the Gambia, QCell is giving you an unbeatable offer. Activate our 5G network on your 5G-enabled phone and enjoy free internet for 7 days. Yes, you heard that right. Activate QCell's 5G on your phone and experience what true 5G internet feels like. Get your QCell SIM cards activated today at the following care centers: Banjul, Senegambia, Brikama, Bursubi Turntable, Bakau Airport, and Kairaba Avenue headquarters. Rush now and be part of the future with QCell's 5G. Free internet for 7 days only with QCell. For more information, call QCell Customer Care on 111. QCell Sunyabus. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell moy suñu boss. QCell moy suñu boss. QCell moy suñu boss. Go, ebe dawa full network suda tili QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata QCell. Most reliable network dumala geta wati QCell. Wo quality man nyon soda jam pona manke QCell. Hanibe wulo ni farole kono walante be bakono jala fayola network o se taria QCell. Nyofinjeka in the 3G, new delu taxi 4G plus, and now we bring you 5G. 5G. first and only 5G provider. Itella follow adi doron nesa keno. Gambia bela nyon tawo fele QCell. Ko fasunta buka busi QCell. Itella molti milka kukutol nati Gambia QCell meta lori la kilianol yele imanyina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be kenoma. QCell sunibus QCell sunibus QCell sunibus QCell sunibus Connect solo be bambandi QCell sunibus QCell most innovative QCell sunibus.
Hello viewers, welcome back from that short break. You're reminded that you're watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station, and we are broadcasting live from the Oic Conference Center here in Barrow. My name is Aliu Sise, and we are also broadcasting on Q Radio on 103.3 and streaming live on Facebook and YouTube as well at QTV Gambia. And joining us now on the program, I have Ambassador Essa Bokarsi, who is the Deputy CEO of the Oic Secretariat Gambia. Ambassador C, good to have you on the program once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cisse.
And also on the program, I have Tamsir Jasseh, who is the chairperson of the Security Subcommittee of the Local Organizing Committee. Mr. Jasseh, good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
I will start with you, Ambassador. Overall, I mean, we are now into the final day of the summit.
Yes.
Your overall impression so far from what we witnessed yesterday at the opening ceremony to now?
Thank you very much, Mr. Cisse. Like I said yesterday during our live coverage, I'm very much impressed and very happy as far as the way the President of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency Adama Barrow, comported himself. And the stage was managed in a way that it is exactly the way diplomacy wants it to be. His speech was good, and it didn't leave any stone unturned as far as the geopolitical and the geostrategic arena are concerned. So I wanted to begin with that, because definitely being a chairman of the OIC is not something small, okay? So the way he received it, body language speaks, tone speaks, and dress code speaks for diplomacy. Everything I can say, if I were the one who was marking, I would give him nothing less than 100. Yes, definitely. I was very happy yesterday. So from that point, I think the whole thing is centered on the speech of the president, because it is what marks the beginning and marks the end of the tenure of Saudi Arabia, the ones who were the chairman of the 14th summit. And they did a wonderful job. Saudi did not only do a wonderful job as a chairman, but they did a wonderful job for Gambia in terms of helping us in many ways. So we thank them a lot. And now it marks the beginning of our tenure as being the chairman. As we proceed on the program, we'll do more analysis on that.
Let me now bring in, like I said, Tamsir Jasseh, who is the chairperson of this Security Subcommittee of the Local Organizing Committee. Mr. Jasseh, I mean, I know it's been quite hectic years, months and weeks of preparations, and finally into the summit. I mean, take us through your overall impression with the work of the security.
Thank you very much. I think the security, having received the assistance that was required in order to do this job, have gone out and did an excellent job. It's still ongoing, and in security, we say it's not over until it's over. So we still maintain the same positions that we had yesterday in terms of our focus on making sure that security prevails across the board. We are not giving anything to chance, and until our last guest leaves the country, we are going to assume the same positions to make sure that security continues. I think we were able to overcome the little difficulties that we encountered in terms of logistics, locating all of our security personnel that are being deployed into certain remote areas to access them, to make sure that they have their meals. And we have overcome that, and things are back smoothly, and everyone is in high spirits. I think the work will continue until it's over.
And what is the composition of the security committee?
The composition of the security committee, it's one member from every security service in the country. The services ensure that they send in the best they have in matters like this to contribute positively and in a very significant way as to what overall security should be, making sure that we don't overlook any area. And that's the purpose of bringing everyone on board. And we've been working together for quite a while now, over 4 years. And so far, thank God, we're doing what we plan to do, and it's going accordingly.
Thank you very much. That's Tamsir Jasseh, chairperson of the security committee. Léegi naa si indi ki nga xam ne moo nekk ambassador Essa Bokar Si moom moo nekk deputy CEO of the OIC Gambia Secretariat. Uncle gis nañ ne fi mu nekk ñu ngi ci final day bi of the summit. Yow en tant que ko xam ne nekkoon nga ambassador, when it comes to OIC kenn mënu laa wax fi OIC naka la war a doxee and all those things. I mean, lan moo nekk sa impression bi nga xoolee lu xew tey depuis démb ba tey jii nii especially ci opening ceremony bi nga gis président Barrow joxe statement, Taha joxe statement, and of course even the chief guest from China also giving a statement. But overall impression, particularly si président bi naka la joxe speech am bi comportement ak yooyu yëpp.
waaw jërëjëf Aliou kontaan naa nekk fii ci pencami lay yàgg suma mbokkami Mbodj waroon naa koy nuyu sax ba may door waaye xam nga xel daf dee fatu maa ngi lay nuyu Mbodj li ma ci jëlee ak ni ma suma gis-gis ci mbir mi moo di président bi dëgg-dëgg man bëgg naa daal parce que diplomatie mooy li nga xam ne métier bi fii moom mooy maanaam néeg bi mooy lépp nim solo baax na ni mooy ñëwee ti toog ak jëmma ji ak fulla bam ca wone baax na kanam bam wone itam pour tatagal yeneeni naataangoom yu ñëw ci Gambia baax na trop loolu diplomatie daf koy moo tax ñu ne diplomatie mooy togga boo xam ne cin bi la koy togga moo di form and substance waaw kon mu ngi mel ni li ci forme moo di naka nga mel noo gisee mbir mi ak sa solu ak yëpp naka la mel nga delluwaatam wax jim wax bu rafet la te rafetul rek em fa dafa rafet te baax xam nga rafet ñaar la am na loo rafet nga foog ne rafet na ci gis-gis te fekk baaxut waaye moom ñaari yëpp la boole te itam bàyyiwu dara ci àdduna bi li nga xam ne mooy indi jiixi jaaxa parce que tam soo bëggee indi jàmm ci diggante ay nit da ngeen di wuri seet lan moo tax fitna ba jóg ca boppam ngeen saafara loolu bu boobaa nag man suma impression mooy ne nim ko defee noonu la ko njiit war a defee te itam door nañ nag mooy nekk chairman ñetti at nekk chairman bi nag yombut ci maanaam ci yenn ni moom dafa mel ni dafay enu ñun def nañ fi juróomi at daanaka ñu ngi kirti Mr Jasseh mi toog ak ñeneen ñëpp jàppa ci léegi mel na ni moom dafa enu bu 12 juróom-ñetti at sax parce que itam bale it moo ko enu woon mooy président mooy chairman bi boot bi nga xam ne mooy decide resolution yi doon doxal ñun fi nekk fii léegi mu dellu enuwaat nekk chairman ñetti at kon bu boobaa li ñooy ñaan rek mooy yal na yomba ci ñun ñëpp Gambien yi parce que ñun ñoo ko en àddunaa ko en te kon mel na ni Gambie yëpp a ko eno ak moom duñ ko bàyyee nag dinañ ko dimbale ci fànn yi yëpp suñ nekkee ci biir wala ci biti Gambie incha allah.
démba biñ defee opening ceremony bi ma ñëw fekk la yaa ngi taxaw si main lobby bi. waaw yaa ngi gis délégués yaa ngi dugga di génna. waaw nga war a fàttaliku fi ngeen dooree journey bi. waaw mu nekkoon yoon bu métti. waaw ngeen dégg si wax yu bari tam. yoo xam ne bu doon koo xam ne. gomuloo si li nga nekk rek da nga doon bàyyi dellu dem def yeneen. waaye bi nga taxawee dem nga gis loolu yëpp xew. ndax da nga fàtte jafe-jafe yi ngeen jëntuwante si gannaaw.
waaw xam nga loolu baax na nga laaj ma ko xam nga dama am benn wasila Tiwaawoon bu tudda Cheikh Tidiane Sy Al Maktoum mu ne tuuma gora ko moom waaye atte yàllaa ko moom nit ki nag soo bëggoon ñu wax la dara bul occupy a public office toogal sa kër rek xam nga man Issa bi ma nekkee Amérique di liggéey feneen kenn tuddut Issa tudda OIC kenn tuddut keneen soo di nga gis ne loolu sax dafay tax nga gën a góorgóorlu parce que man ni ma ko dee gisee da ngay dégg ñu ne constructive criticism Mane in any word there is an opposite. Why I don't believe in destructive criticism. Man believe uma ko. Kon dafa melni jaru sa nga ne constructive waxal rek criticism. So lolu dafa baax parce que nit ki so nekké di def lo wax baax na lo def baax na du barabi nit bobu yalla ko mom. Ku ko buga rek kon yow joté nga ak yalla. Kon man lolu metti wut ma won dama ko gisé ne rek yalla daf ñu nattu indi ñu tek ñu fi ñuy liggéey. Ci fo xamne ñepp fa am yaakar lima waxon ci ben jotay rek fofu lay tejé bala ngay jall ci ñene dafa am lu jéxal lagat jaakum ne la ilaha illa hu alayhi tawakkaltu wa rabbul arshil azim koku moy yalla koku moy enu yépp moy yobbu yépp moy def yépp
ba ma indi Mr Jassy rek bala ma del ci yow ambassadeur wa xamna ne suma natango modum mboj mo nanon ta dina am lu mu bëggal laaj yépp Mr Jassy yeen ngeen nek security committee mu nga ñëw wax rek nak nga gisé di security arrangements ci depuis summit mu commencé ba légui ak lo leen ci jangal
am nga yonent bi sallallahu alayhi wasallam daf ñu jangal ne takal sa gëlem ba pare nga soga wax inshallah gëlem bi tënk nañ ko bu baax bépp buum fuñ ko mëna joté jël nañ ko taka gëlem bi ba pare ne inshallah te alhamdullilah yàlla jàppale nañu liggéey bi nga xam ne moom lañ fas yéene woon a def ñu ngi continuer di ko def ñun nag suñu liggéey du jeex fépp ñëpp ñibbiwuñ ci seen kër yi gan ñi ñëw ak Gambien si nga xam ne ñoo fi nekk ak ñoom ñëpp ñu ñibbi seen kër yi ci jàmm ñu ngi ci la suñu xel di dal ñu ngi gën a continuer di sàkku suñu borom mu gën ñoo jàppale ndax liggéey bi gën a dem kanam parce que alhamdulilah jafe-jafe yi nga xam ne yi ni ñu ngi ko gis fi mu ne ay jafe-jafe yu néew la yoo xam ne yi mun na amuñu booba solo ñu ngi ko toppatoo alhamdulilah yal na continuer noonu jërëjëf.
waaw ndax am ngeen benn jafe-jafe si wàllu organisation bi ak yooyu noonu ak bu dee am na tam lan ngeen def pour mën a gis ne daal mu ngeen koo saafara.
xam nga OIC summit bi yàgg nañ ko plan and ñu cancel ko several times. Because of several reasons jamono yooyu jëluñu woon tooguñu woon rek dañ continuer woon di planning bi jël na ay at alhamdulilah lépp loo xam ne lii nii ragaloon nañ ne nekk jafe-jafe xalaatoon nañ ko ba pare seet naka la ñu koy saafaraal ba nga xam ne dinañ ko mun a avoid last minute issues yu ndaw yi ñu amoon mooy naka la ñoo mun a xamee fan suñu gars yi nga xam ne ñoom lañ deploy fu ne naka lañ naa mun a jotee on time pour seen añ nag seen ndéwoo seen reer jot leen ñu mun koo jot waaye alhamdulilah gannaaw si gars yi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci logistique bi fi ko nañ ko out ba fi mu nekk nii alhamdulilah loolu mu ngee dox alhamdulilah amuñ any major issues te yal nañu yàlla musal ci major issues ba lii jeex alhamdulilah.
waaw def mel ni tey ci ni ngeen toogee ni tey you must be very proud yéen ñaari yëpp I mean being part of history because normally it will go down in history books of the Gambia and it was in 2024 that Gambia hosted the OIC summit ñi ñoo bokkoon ci committee bi soo leen mënee parler ko you must be very proud.
Man, from a security standpoint, our pride begins when it's all over. We're still in the battlefield. Yeah. The battle is ongoing. Unless we win the war, we don't want to be proud. After we won the war, then we will be proud. And like I said, liggéey bi mu ngi continuer ñu ko continuer di ko def jërëjëf.
Absolutely. Man nag li ma doon wonder rek maa ngi am summit yu mel nii. I wonder yan potential risks you had to prepare for.
Su ñëwee ci security, the guidance is you plan for the worst and hope for the best. Sooy plan for the worst da nga gestu ñi nga xam ne ñii nii ñoom mus nañoo am ndaje ju mel nii nga waxtaan ak ñoom lan lañ what were their concerns yooyu la ñu indi ko on board and then ngeen brainstorm create scenarios create solutions to those scenarios and then di ñaan yàlla ne bu ci benn ñëw waaye su ko yàlla indi yal nañu yàlla taxawu ba ñu mun koo saafaraal waaye fi ñu toll nii alhamdulilah li ñu doon ragal yëpp alhamdulilah ba dara xewu ci te yal na continuer noonu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mboch. Yes, we have other guests who are also on standby to come on the program and just share with us their views as far as the summit is concerned. Well, that was Tamsil Jase, who is the chairperson of the Security Committee, and like I said, Ambassador Issa Bokar C, Deputy CEO of the OIC Secretariat. They've been part of the journey from day one, and here they are actually witnessing the actual hosting of the summit. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the program. We quite appreciate your time. We know you are so busy, but you know you always avail yourself to share with us your views regarding hosting of the summit. We quite appreciate everything, and we just commend you for the good job that you have done for the country, and we hope you will continue to live longer to keep guiding and inspiring the younger generations to do better. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Well, viewers, we will go with a short break, and then next on the program we'll be joined by Mamadou Sabali, special advisor to the president, and Ambassador Papa Njai, who is the Gambia's ambassador to Nigeria and permanent rep to the ECOWAS bloc. We'll be back in a moment.
You asked for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. Speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected, juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G Speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day, or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Money, your ultimate mobile money partner. Cash in now and get credit bonus up to $250. Yes, $250. Need to cash out? Dial *323#, enter your secret PIN and get your one-time password. Give it to any Q Money agent and you are done. Send money to your loved ones with a few taps. Dial *323#, enter the amount and confirm. It's that easy. Top up your cash power on the go. Dial *323#. Register your meter number and receive your token via SMS. Q-Money, this is your calpe way to manage your money. Q-Money is back.
Hello viewers, welcome back from the short break. You're watching QTV, the Gambia Sports Private TV station, and we're broadcasting live from the Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center, where the Gambia is hosting the 15th OIC Summit as we speak, and today is the final day of the summit. And like I said, we are joined on the program now by Mamadou Sabally, who is the special advisor to the President of the Republic, Adama Barrow, and also Muhammadu Papanjai, who is the Gambia's High Commissioner to Nigeria, and of course our permanent rep to ECOWAS. Gentlemen, good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
To start with, to all of you, your impression so far with the hosting of the summit, the organization and everything from what we saw yesterday at the opening ceremony, the statement delivered, the messages, your impression.
Thank you very much, Aliu, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. And I bring good tidings from Abuja, and Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The summit was a success, and you see, people have to understand Gambia is hosting the summit, but the coordination of the summit and everything is really at the responsibility of the OIC Secretariat. And from what we saw yesterday, all the speeches given were about unity, unification, believing in Ummah, and how do we progress with the agenda of the Ummah. And then they also spoke about the challenges as Muslim Ummah were facing. And that is what is it. That's the success of a summit. When everybody comes, talk about the same issues, and then at the end of the day, we all agree on the communique. I've witnessed other summits whereby at the end of the day, people don't agree on the way forward. But Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, this for me is a success. And I'll let Sabally continue, but really I'm happy that everybody has contributed. It's a Gambian thing. Taking the cue from the president, his speech was on point, and he spoke about pertinent issues that all the Muslim Ummahs wanted to talk about. And then coming down to the ambassadors, to the ministers, to the event organizers, to the media, to the journalists, to the security forces, everybody played a part. And yesterday I got a call from a delegate that attended, and he was so impressed about how Gambia was able to coordinate and put up a very successful summit. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And a lot of people take summit to be successful or unsuccessful because they think that the roads are not complete or the buildings are not complete or other issues. That's not the summit. The summit is what these 57 countries come together to talk about, what is the outcome is unified and everybody believes in it. People don't come here to look for beautiful houses, to stay in the most perfect house. No, they're here, the delegates are here to make sure that the summit, the agenda of the summit is fulfilled. So I just want everybody to understand that. And yes, of course, when summit comes, the added bonuses that we try to get and make sure that it's implemented. But that's not the success of the summit. So I just want that
and to you, Mr. Sabally, your impression with the summit. I know you've been very much involved in the organization as a special advisor to the president, and I saw you quite busy going in and out, ensuring that everything is in place. Your impression?
Well, it's a fantastic, superlatively successful summit. Quite right, unprecedented, and I'm picking up feedback from other people because I might not be an impartial adjudicator in this matter. But I spoke to the delegation from Bosnia. They are amazed. The delegation from Qatar. They said if they knew what Gambia really was, their delegation would have been even 10 times bigger. The summit venue, these fantastic waterfront apartments, the logistics and everything, from the infrastructure, the logistics, even the media, the fact that young people like you can sit down here and broadcast live direct into your studios and you're being watched all over the world. This has never happened in the Gambia. And one of the diplomats from the Nigerian embassy here, he said, you did this for all of us, for the whole of ECOWAS, and we are very proud of you. I just want to say congratulations to President Barrow. and the entire Gambian population. I want to say thank you to the former Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Njie Seydi,
yes, yesterday.
Dr. Toure, Farmara Jallow Tambajang, His Excellency Lawyer Ousainou Darboe, Mama Kandeh, all in one room in a conference whose theme is unity, solidarity, dialogue. We just had a national dialogue right here in this very building. The issues being promulgated here. President Barrow's speech about dialogue, peaceful resolution of conflicts like what's happening in Gaza, the Rohingya, and the Gambia is playing a leading, inspiring role in that. Human rights issues, the Palestinian-Gaza issue is central to the Ummah. And President Barrow is calling for a peaceful approach to resolve these human rights issues in a country that hosts the African Commission for Human and People's Rights, and a president who's just won the most peaceful leader award. It's amazing what happened in this country. It's a big victory for all Gambians, for the whole of ECOWAS. And I was talking to the president of ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Toure, and I was telling him how we could leverage this thing between ECOWAS and the OIC. Because I did an article at some point for the Islamic Development Bank magazine on their intervention in ICT development and ECOWAS through their ECO1 project. The opportunities are limitless. This is next gen Gambia under President Adama Barrow.
And you being here as an author, as an author and of course a public speaker, when you listened to the president yesterday and the speech, what was your take? How will you rate him?
It was amazing. I think just about the finest speech he ever delivered. The confidence, the tempo, the demeanor, and then the issues he raised in a cool, calm, and collected manner. And then he takes over the chair, this huge chair, leading 57 countries, sitting calmly and, oh man, alhamdulillah. And then he chairs. One word he passes it on, facilitates, he's not imposing himself. This is leadership at its best level.
Mr. Sabali, when I look at the theme, enhancing unity through dialogue and sustainable development, I wonder how can the president during his chairmanship 3 years advance the vision of this theme?
Well, the good thing is he's already a trailblazer in this field, an African country calling diverging voices, opposition leaders, into the presidency at State House, and they accepting that call to come and have dialogue with you for unity and solidarity, for development, and bringing that same group here at this very building. And then, I mean, look, these are no mean achievements, because most of the time it's UN Security Council advising UN or ECOWAS, AU, imposing on an African country to come together. He just bankrolled a peace tournament, unprecedented, won a peace award, beyond the theme. I have ideas that President Barrow will bring to the table and make achievements that will be bigger than the theme. Among them, Islamic finance, which was highlighted during the conference.
Thank you very much, Dr. Doctor. Well,
it's okay. In front of Mr. I'll take any title.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sabali, who's the special advisor to the President of the Republic, and Mohamedou Papanjai, who's the Gambia's High Commissioner to Nigeria and our permanent rep to ECOWAS. It was good to have you on the program. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Viewers, we'll go with a short break, and when we return, we'll be joined by the Chief Justice of the Gambia, Justice Hassan B. Jallow, and Deputy Speaker Sidi Eskejai. Do stay tuned.
Okay, thank you.
QMoney is back again with its easy-to-use, secure and convenient mobile app that allows you to carry out all your transactions. No matter where you are or what time it is, you can always access your funds. With the new QMoney app, you can cash in and out, buy credit, buy QPower, shop, make payments, and so much more. You can also send QMoney, pay bills, receive international remittances, and transfer cash to others. Just download the app from your Play Store or App Store and get started. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
QMoney is back again with an offer of a lifetime. You can now buy Sunyu Bundle data packages directly from your QMoney wallet for half the price. Get all Sunyu Bundle packages from 20 megabytes to 20 gigabytes and enjoy the biggest internet data discount in the market. Just dial *323# now, choose option 4 and start buying your favorite Sunyu Bundle package half the price only with QMoney. Pay less and stay connected with the most reliable internet service in the Gambia. For more information, call 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell gives you the international bundles. In partnership with Orange and Free Senegal, now you can make calls to Senegal at a cheaper rate with our international bundles. Dial *343# and choose a voice bundle of your choice starting from 5 minutes to 15 minutes of talk time with friends and family. Enjoy the cheapest call rate in the Gambia with QCell's international voice bundles. Dial *343# now to subscribe and call away. For more information, call 111. QCell Sunyubus. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply. You asked for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fix Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello viewers, welcome back from the short break. You're still watching QTV, the Gambia's first private TV station, and we are broadcasting live from the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center here in Banjul, where, as I said, the Gambia is hosting the 15th OIC Summit under the theme Ensuring Unity and Solidarity through Dialogue for Sustainable Development. Yesterday we witnessed the opening ceremony, and today is the final day of the summit, and we are expecting to receive the communique of the summit and, of course, the Banjul Declaration. As we already know, President Barrow was handed the baton yesterday as the chair of the OIC for the next 3 years. And when you talk about government, you have the three arms of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. And joining us right now on the program, I have the Chief Justice of the Gambia, Justice Hassan P. Jallow. Good to have you on the program.
Good morning. Thank
and
you.
Also on the program, I have Deputy Speaker CDS Kenjai. Honorable, good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Yeah, good. I'll start with you, Chief Justice. I mean, I know you were here yesterday for the opening ceremony, and then as a Gambian, not just as Chief Justice of the Gambia, but as a Gambian, I mean, witnessing this event, I mean, happening for the first time in the history of the country. How was it feeling like, or how is it feeling like at the moment?
It was a feeling of great pride. Okay. It's an exceptional achievement. Gambia has been able to organize this event. From all the accounts, all those expected to attend have been in attendance. There's been a full attendance by members. There's been some very good discussions, I understand, on the substantive matters, and this will be reflected in the declaration, I believe, which will come out very, very shortly. But we've been able to pull this off despite our limited resources, thanks to the steadfastness of the government, the public service, in fact all Gambians, and I'd like to seize the opportunity to congratulate everybody on this very, very remarkable achievement.
And as a country, what do you think we can learn from this achievement? Like you said, I mean, the challenges were there, I mean, expectations were high as well. But what do you think we can learn as a country despite our size?
I think at many levels. Internally, it required a lot of effort, coordination, cooperation, organization internally amongst various agencies by various people. And it's that sort of collaboration which should continue. from now on, because we see the result, the positive results that come out of this sort of collaboration. Externally, of course, it places the Gambia on, strengthens our place, not places, but it strengthens our place very much on the map. It's a recognition with the election of His Excellency the President as chairman of the OIC that we have an important role to play in dealing with many of the issues globally which affect the Muslim Ummah, and we should all try and focus on those and try and work on them.
I'll come back to it. Let me just bring in Deputy Speaker here, Sidi SK Njai. I mean, the same question to you. I mean, your impression of the hosting of the summit.
Thank you very much. It has been an amazing organization, and I'm highly impressed the level of organizations and all things that put in place by the government of the Gambia and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Secretariat. This speaks volumes of how committed we are as a country and as a people, and how united we are, because if you look at all the logistical arrangement pre-summit official opening, of course, during the senior officials, high level, foreign ministers, presidentials, everything went hitch-free. And the structures that was put in place by a government to ensure a hitch-free, to ensure a successful OIC summit, to ensure that all the technicals that is needed, ranging from security, from media, from other logistics, internal, that's mean within the conference, outside, vehicular, and of course the movement of delegate in and around the conference center and within the country. It has been proven that Gambia government have been equal to the task. And that shows the level of commitment and the direct involvement of His Excellency President Adama Barrow in ensuring that this goes a success. It is for the first time Gambia to host such an international conclave. We had 2006 the AU, but this is second to the United Nations General Assembly. And as the Chief Justice indicated, all the 57 member countries have been represented. And when you go outside, you see the euphoria from Gambians. You see the security forces, members of the Gambia Armed Forces, Gambia Police Force, Immigration, Fire Service, Gambia Prison Service, the State Intelligence, the National Intelligence Agency, and every other security apparatus, including the GRA. They are coordinating with also our partners and their supporters within and outside the continent. Everything is organized. Everything is going accordingly. That shows that we can stand the test of time. And it is, of course, a huge success under the leadership of the President. Undoubtedly, he will dedicate this success to every Gambian. And we have seen him during the opening ceremony. As a country, we are elated. It's historic in the sense that for the first time in the history of the Gambia, a Gambian head of state, chairman of an organization beyond the sub-region of the country. In the next 3 years, President Adama Barrow is the leader and head of all the Muslim Ummah. That's a huge achievement.
And I think just before Mr. Mboj comes in, CA, I would just like to engage you more on the actual agenda of this summit, which focuses more on what is happening within the Muslim Ummah. The issue of Palestine is key, and then, I mean, not only Palestine, but even the issue of the Rohingya Muslims, where Gambia was really commended yesterday for taking up the case to the ICJ. Even South Africa, as we're doing the same, following in Gambian footsteps to, take Israel to the ICJ to seek justice for the people of Palestine. As someone who is very much involved in advocating the need for justice around the world, I mean, what do you think the OIC should now start doing different to ensure they get concrete actions or get concrete outcome in terms of ensuring peace and stability within the Muslim Ummah? Because this is not the first time that the issue of Palestine is coming up as far as the OIC Summit is concerned. So what do you think will make Banjul Summit different from the previous summits?
I think not so much something different, but I think an intensification of the activities and the policies which the OIC has undertaken with regard to issues relating to the rule of law, ensuring justice for Muslims, and accountability on the part of perpetrators. I think we need, for instance, additional support in order to be able to push forward this case on for the Rohingyas. There are issues of resources involved, and I think the OIC, and I expect they will eventually come up with resources to support the continuation and the successful ending of that case. Palestine also, I think the OIC is on the right track. I think we need to move beyond just the issue of humanitarian assistance and ceasefire to one of accountability for what has happened there within a international judicial forum. And I think here the OIC also can assist significantly. The Gambia, you may want to know, is one of 6 members of the steering committee for the Judicial Council of the OIC. And as a member, we are involved in trying to also harmonize laws and legal policies within the OIC countries. So we are working on it from that perspective as well.
So much. Chief Justice, for a long time, of course, Banjul was sort of the capital of human rights in Africa. And yesterday, listening to the Secretary General, apparently there's an idea of establishing an international court of justice, an Islamic international court of justice. Not yet ratified, hasn't gone through. But during President Barrow's 3-year chairmanship, I wonder in what ways can encourage, advance the cause so that you'll have a working international court of justice.
As I said, I think there are cases which need to be pushed to ensure there is accountability on the part of perpetrators. The OIC itself has a human rights commission, and I think there also we need to make sure that the Islamic concept of human rights, and we are not behind. Islam is not behind in the area of human rights. Islam has been in the forefront in the emancipation of people from oppression, from injustice, and this needs to come out very much so that we recognize that Islam is pro-human rights. It's one of the agents for promoting justice, and we strengthen the work of the OIC Human Rights Council in that respect. But also, as I said, ensure that there is accountability for violations of the law at the international level. I'm thinking of Palestine, for instance, the Rohingyas, and so on, and so forth. Yes.
And finally, before we let you go, because I know you have a very tight schedule today. Finally, Deputy Speaker, I mean, in your last address to the Interparliamentary Union in Geneva, the major highlights of your statement was the issue of Palestine, where you talk about the issue of, two-state solution, but what you also think should be done. And you went further to even reassure that Gambia is committed to ensuring that the people of Palestine get justice. And what do you think, in your opinion, like, you had the president said this similar thing yesterday. I mean, what do you think should be the immediate priority of the president as chair of the OIC?
He has indicated that, and that's the Gambia's position, that the issue of Palestine and Israeli conflicts must be addressed head-on, and using all diplomatic means to ensure that the two-state solutions, as agreed in the 60s, is the only way out to ensure that the people of Palestine live in dignity, live in peace, and live within their territory. And it is along those lines we believe that the chairman of authority, of heads of state, of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, which is His Excellency President Adam Barrow, will strengthen and vigorously campaign within the Muslim Ummah. He talks about peace. And yesterday he said something when he received the delegation from Uzbekistan during the bilateral discussions. He said unity and cooperation will be the hallmark of his leadership, and that he is calling on all Muslim Ummah, members of the OIC, to be united. We have all these resources. He said once we are united, we'll have strength. He said once there is cooperation among all the member states, we imagined, in fact, I can assure you, Omar, we can be the biggest bloc on earth. So we are going to see a more vigorous approach, a more determination, more commitment, moving from commitment to action in ensuring that the issue of Palestine is resolved. Because as Muslim Ummah, one of our biggest challenge as OIC member state is the issue of Palestine, the issue of the Horn of Africa, and other conflict within the Muslim Ummah. And as chair, the Gambia is committed to engaging all partners, irrespective of their perception, their views on this, because ultimately, peace is sacrosanct and is the only resolve that we could do to ensure that we achieve and realize the objective of Islam in itself. You know, Islam is founded on the basis of peace, on the basis of respect for people's rights, people's territorial and people's integrity. So these are not new, but we are coming up with more emerging issues, with more vigor, with more determination, and with more commitment to the founding fathers of the OIC. That's what the president is going to do.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker Sidi SK Njai and Chief Justice of the Gambia, Alhaji Hassan Bijale. It was good to have you on the program. Thank you so much for coming on the program. We know you have a very busy schedule, but I mean, you created time to be with us here just to share your views with us as far as the hosting of the OIC Summit is concerned. Thank you so much. Well, viewers, with that, we'll go with a short break and then we'll be back soon. Do stay tuned.
Never before in the Gambia, QCell is giving you an unbeatable offer. Activate our 5G network on your 5G enabled phone and enjoy free internet for